So Nick, this is my idea of what we're gonna do for this entire podcast. Okay, we're gonna fucking remake it or reboot it. Let's go for a reboot. I'm going for more of a reboot of where I'm gonna change you to a woman. You can still be you, but you're gonna be a woman with bigger titties. And me, I'm just gonna be a mopey, emo, son of a bitch who just don't give two shits. And Saul. See, okay, now Saul, with you, we're gonna turn you a bit blacker. You might look kind of Indian-ish. I think we're gonna do this entire reboot. I think this is good. I think it's a good reboot idea. What do you think, Nick?
I like where you're going with this. Have we done any market testing? Have we checked out what kind of demographics we're going for?
Not exactly. But I know what? I know we can do it. I know we can sell it because every single goddamn thing has done it before.
Well, the thing is, it's dangerous with making me a woman because we don't want to over-patronize the female demographic. What we really want to do is I think the whole making Saul Sikh here might actually be able to work a little bit better for us.
As you can tell, we're not actually going to reboot again. So welcome everybody to C.S.N. Report. I am your host, Christian Alonso, and over here I have Nick.
Welcome to our show again.
And wait, that's not Saul. Who are you?
There's a guy picked up off the street corner.
Saul's dead. It's quite clear Saul is dead. We don't know what happened to Saul. But Saul's not coming back.
No, Saul will return, people. It's some personal issues. He went to the Shaolin monk monastery to make himself a better Shaolin monk.
Let's not sugarcoat it. He met a hooker. He's married. He's in Vegas. Some things have happened.
I think that's sugarcoating it a little because the hooker in question just so happened to have been a male, so that's a little bit sugarcoating
well, he was a cross-dresser, so,
Well, yeah, he didn't know it at the time, but when he found out about it, he didn't change his mind.
Exactly. So
it really makes you wonder.
There's room for the relationship.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, we all really have to ask ourselves, what would you do if you found yourself in a crying game scenario?
Well, probably end up at Ace Ventura when
avoid knives. Just avoid knives. So.
I just cry in the shower. I burn all my clothes. So we have a guest over here. Now, his name is Mike. Tell us about yourself, Mike.
I'm not Aladdin. It's amazing how often that becomes a situation where I have to explain that. I'm not Aladdin. And I'm also not the Indian kid from Indiana Jones. That is a real person who probably has a real job at this point. I don't know what it is, but I'm not him. That's all I have to say.
I still think you could pass for Aladdin. He just needs a turban.
See? Yeah.
Turban or a monkey. You know what?
I'm going to get a turban. That's the thing. That's the scarier other part. I'm going to get a turban, and then I can't shake the Aladdin thing forever. It's good.
So tell us a bit about yourself, Mike.
I'm Mike, film degree. I have a comics degree. I yell at things. I admire cats. Not because I like cats, just because I want to be lazy and I want to live in someone's apartment.
Well, tell us a bit more the film. Your film, pretty much your working film.
My working film?
Well, Well, I know Mike, and I know he was in film school for a bit of a while.
Like 3 years. I think I worked on one major film, which was The Cookout 2. If you've never seen The Cookout 1, I assure you, you have missed nothing. That thing is unwatchable. The only reason they made a Cookout 2, apparently, this is according to what I learned on the set, because my friend became assistant to the producer. A bunch of rap companies switched from rap into films. They got the rights for The Cookout 2. Well, whatever. I was on set for one day. I met Charlie Murphy. He's a nice guy. I was hauling trash and he was making fun of me the whole time, which was pretty cool. And that was it.
Right, he's a nice guy?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Like,
he spent his entire day making fun of you as you were taking out his trash?
Making fun of me. You know, it was sort of like, you have a party in those bags, man? Well, I was dragging giant trash bags full of crap. which was pretty cool because Charlie Murphy's actually really funny and actually takes being an actor very seriously, which is shocking as all hell. But yeah, that's my extent. Worked on a ton of small films that are short movies. I haven't won an Oscar. I wasn't interested to. I don't care.
Yeah, because that was really on the plate.
No, it was. Our school is like very award savvy. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, like I know, like I think one of the people who was there was working with Clint Eastwood on Gran Torino.
No, I mean a bunch of them have worked on Iron Man. I don't think anyone worked on Gran Torino because I was there while Gran Torino was releasing, and we were just like slamming it the whole time. But you know, they've gone on to work for people. But yeah, they've gone on to work on like serious movies. But, yeah, no, my school no longer exists, so I am a refugee of the 3 years it did exist. It created some of the greatest filmmakers.
So the 3 years that I was there is not there anymore.
No, it got sold to a California company, which turned it into a film and television academy. But the quality of the people teaching there just went to hell, and all of my teachers sort of like fled, and you know were sort of like they were really the best at what they did, but they weren't being respected anymore, and so they just sort of have random people teaching, and you don't get the level of education you got when I got there. So yeah, we're all kind of out in the wind. We all know each other. We occasionally like brush up against each other, but yeah. After film school, I went on to comics, and I don't do anything in comics anymore. I like to buy comics. I know a lot about comics, but I don't make comics. I have the potential to make comics.
Potential.
No, I'm sort of waiting for the comics industry to sort of welcome black people in, and then I'll go in and then be like, hey, I know all the stuff. I don't know. Let me be useful somehow.
It doesn't really truly work.
No, there's like 4 black people. I know all of them. None of us are doing much.
So you're saying is it's gonna work, maybe?
No, we have some economic issues that we have to sort out.
You're all broke?
Yeah, that, and we also can't be more broke and making comics and not actually having a future. It's kind of like, yeah, we're really famous for making comics. We live on the streets. We've undone the generations of attempting to rise up from poverty by being stupid.
You need to get into anime, sir.
Oh no, those have just been moved over. 3D has just been moved over to Korea. So every job in animation is, you're lucky to get a storyboard job. That's one guy in America that, there's not a lot of room there for making money.
Well, I mean like manga, traditional Japanese comic books. You can be broke as hell and still get a job.
Yeah, but then you'd have to move to Japan and then learn Japanese and...
Oh yeah, because that would be... they have a much higher minimum wage, so...
Your best hope is to become a sex worker and sleep with people and then just drop dime on everybody you've slept with. Just draw them, write out who their names are, everything.
So, pretty much being a drawing whore.
Yeah, exactly. That's every art job in history. Yeah, somewhere like Da Vinci's just like, oh, I'm fucking get fucked for this job, but god damn it, I need the money.
We've been fucking Mona Lisa for weeks. It's not going anywhere. Keep drawing her.
It's a labor of love, man. It's a labor of love. Thank God I'm an engineer. Or at least that's what I tell people.
So that was Mike. And I gotta say, Mike, it's kind of awesome. I learned so much for the past 10 minutes, well, 8.
No, but this kid is really sharp. He knows his stuff, and I tell you what, he gives the best $10 blowjobs you can get.
You know it is. It's tongue work, man. You gotta sing while you're doing it. Also, back and head movement. It makes the difference.
Our live studio audience is about to pee herself right now.
So should we move into our?
Yes, into topics now tonight.
Well, we're gonna move into what we're into. So who want to go first?
What we're currently doing?
No, just what we're into. Yes, I guess books. The usual stuff, comics, movies.
Okay, well, my update for this week is I finally started taking into an older TV show, The West Wing, and I've always been a very politically minded. And it's funny that it's taken me so long, especially considering how long it's been on Netflix. But you know what? It really is an excellent series. And anyone that has even some mild interest in politics or just really good television writing, I definitely recommend this for you. It's got a lot of characters you can really get connected with. It's got Dulé Hill, who would later get a role as Burton Guster on Psych in his first role. It's got, God, what's his name? Something Sheen.
Martin Sheen?
Martin Sheen, that's it. And he's absolutely fantastic as a Democratic Christian president of the United States. A couple of words you wouldn't expect to hear in the same sentence.
Oh.
Christian president and Sheen, but
Wait, doesn't he start out the first episode as just being drunk?
no, you're thinking of Charlie and 2.5 Men.
No, isn't the first episode like he's either taken too many drugs or he's drank too much, and then the press corps has
I think you're thinking about Apocalypse Now.
No, there's another character in it that has some problems, and that's not the first episode, it's the first season.
Alright.
Oh.
Sort of a subplot of the first season.
Sorry, when you say drinking and Martin Sheen, I thought my mind just went into Apocalypse Now because he was in it and he was drinking in there.
Was he?
Yeah.
I just remember him being on a boat and trying to get down.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen him do much drinking in this series, which is a big surprise.
Right.
Because we know the Sheen family pretty well.
I know all of the Sheens.
Yes.
Anything else?
Well, no, I like my exposure to the West Wing is the writer. The writer is like amazing. He did Social Network. He wrote Social Network, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he did a phenomenal job. Actually, I was complaining because my school posted a list of movies, and one of them was was Iron Lady, and Iron Lady attempted to do the same sort of writing style that you see in Social Network, which is you jump back and forth throughout the story as different people tell it. And I don't think it was executed very well. I think it was executed amazingly well in Social Network, and that is the same writer as West Wing. And he has gone on to do more political stuff, which is he did Charlie Wilson's War, which great movie, freaking love it. And then he's doing News Network for HBO, the news thing.
I forgot what it's called, but I know what show you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, political stuff, and he's a good writer. He hasn't had all successes with his writing, but I like the writing. When he does it, a very good job of it. It's good.
You agree that the show's got a good pedigree on it?
West Wing? Well, yeah. I mean, West Wing is like the start of his career, and he's continued the same pattern of politics, but he's written it very well all throughout his career.
Yeah, honestly, that's about what I got for what I've been up to lately.
Mike, yeah, is there anything you're into?
What have I been up to lately? God, let's dissect it down, because last night I was watching a documentary on wine and its consumption in China, then was watching the X-Men film. Let's just start with something I feel passionate about. Well, not too passionate about, but the art for Space Dandy. which is one of the few modern animes I watch. The stories, they don't exist. Let's just be honest there. It's all eye candy. Again, there was one story, there's a little cat character, and goes and meets his dad. That's the only real story arc in the series.
So it's a little like Excel Saga.
No. It's meant to be pretty, and it's meant to be the animators playing. So that's the whole takeaway from Space Daddy. And actually, the artist that designs the ships in Space Daddy, he did Code Lyoko, which I don't like. People like it. There's a fan base, but it's got that cool thing where it goes 2D, 3D. Never liked it. But as a designer of the ships and the general gadgets that you have on Space Dandy, I absolutely love it. I love the whole like crazed surfer sort of greaser punk look that the main character has, and just the like weird anime-ish what is it, sort of fan service sort of way of embracing that in the writing.
So essentially, all the female characters have big tits, and
the main character is obsessed with tits, and they have a restaurant in the series called Boobies, and he has to go there in every single episode.
And it's a little bit like Golden Boy in that aspect.
No, Golden Boy actually had story, and the art was sort of...
No, I mean just as far as the love of fan service.
Well, I think Golden Boy, the fan service was more story-based. This, again, it's part of the eye candy.
Yeah.
The entire series is eye candy. It looks pretty. It's innovative animation. Not much of a good story, but goddamn it, does it look pretty.
Jingling keys, essentially.
It's jingling keys with a few diamonds and jewels and opals added to it.
That makes sense.
That's some fucking jingling keys.
Yeah. It's that pretty.
Really fancy jingling keys.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I can look at that for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian, you're up.
Well, I was going to say, Mike, anything else, or that's it?
Yeah, so far, I've got nothing.
Alright. I've been into a bunch of stuff. On Netflix, I just saw a movie called Never Sleep Again, The Elm Street Legacy. It's a documentary that pretty much is about, well, the entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Which, apparently what I kind of found out, that was like the big moneymaker that helped like New Line became like New Line until, I'm trying to think when exactly they pretty much lost their whole business.
Huh.
Yeah, but I gotta say, it's actually really interesting, and actually some things were pretty cool. We kind of found, what they did kind of find out about like how they actually did that one famous scene where you see like, I forgot the one actress bitch name, but apparently she's up in the ceiling and you see her like she's getting cut open and whatnot.
Yeah, she's just being dragged up by like blades, and you see it sticking out of her stomach.
Yeah,
bleeding.
Yeah, and I found out that like, oh well, they pretty much had to built this kind of device where you see this whole room and put it upside down.
Yeah, no, but didn't they do that for 2001: The Space Odyssey? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, they had a guy. The person was on the wall and he was harnessed to the wall, and he looked like he was sitting down, and then you had the guy running the track around him, and he was on the ground. And did they do a dolly version of that with?
I want to say yes. It sounds like that's what they did, and what I kind of heard where there was like two incidents like that when they tried to do the same trick again with Johnny Depp's death. Well, pretty much, he was
in one of those, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Well, he was in the first one, and also Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. And when they had to pretty much do that, the whole thing where when Freddy killed Johnny Depp, you see his blood going down. Pretty much did the same trick, but he kind of found out that maybe we shouldn't do that same trick because there's blood. Quote unquote blood, but it's water and red. It's pouring down. The electricity is kind of where it is. And what I heard, Apparently, a person got electrocuted during that scene.
Wait,
But
electrocuted or shocked?
I think it's either one.
Shocked means he gets zapped. I've been shocked a dozen times.
No, electrocuted.
Electrocuted means his heart stopped and they had to either resuscitate him or they had to put him in a box. They had to get out the old shoe box and leave him at the side till the end of shooting.
No, I think maybe a shock, but I think it was a very strong shock because, well...
Oh, yeah, a real strong shock can fuck you up. Trust me. I know, a strong shock can fuck you up.
But like I say, it was pretty cool to kind of learn like, so many things and also find out that Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is considered the gayest movie in the franchise. And I said, wait, as in where there literally is gay subtext throughout the whole movie.
As in it's raining men gay?
Yes. Like this is, okay, pretty much I'm trying to think, but it's the scene where like the main character dude goes like, Freddy's inside me.
I remember that. You know what? At first thinking on it, because that's the one where it's like the woman's in the hospital with all the kids, and I
think that's up 3. Yep, it's 3. But yeah, like I swear, like when I first watched it as a kid, I was like, I never really saw these sub-content. But now you kind of see these much older, like, yeah.
This is a little. I'm sorry, that's very gay.
And yeah, it's actually really good. It's something I do recommend. And for those who do listen to Dr. Netflix are wondering, hey, how come you're not gonna do that for a review? Well, because we're not. It's just one of the things that I was just watching it, and my girlfriend Elisa, as you know, as she started watching it with me, it just we never actually thought, oh, maybe we could do a review of this, and well, But we do have something coming up, but that's in a more near future. And, for video games, I finally finished Deus Ex Human Revolution. Woo! It's fun. It's awesome. Yay! And I got back to No More Heroes, which I had to fight this, I think the assassin, her codename assassin name is like Bad Bitch. Or Bad Girl, I think. Either one. And she has a bat. She's fucking tough. Fucking hate that bitch. And for comics, I finally finished DC's The New Frontier. It has such the most gorgeous art. And I know I talked about it, and I'm going to talk a little briefly. For those who don't know what The New Frontier is, it's pretty much Darwin Cook, big old, him just loving the Silver Age. And it actually is, it's really good.
A decent tribute? Yeah,
like, it's a really, really good tribute. It's... The best way I can describe it is kind of like Watchmen in a sense, because it's pretty much during the whole Silver.
Comics are like Watchmen.
Well, yeah, this is kind of.
If you went down the list and was like, all the comics are like Watchmen, you'd end up with like 100 titles.
Well, this is one of those 100 titles where like it's a kind of sense of where like, oh, what happens if the DC characters in the Silver Age. This, what this shit gonna happen, where the whole McCarthy era and whatnot. And
McCarthy?
That sounds like Marvel's 12.
Yeah, and yes. Well, actually, no, I don't know with Marvel's 12.
Marvel's 12 is like, it's these 50s, well not 50s, it's like 30s heroes that get frozen during World War II to be unfrozen in even a war. Well, eventually war doesn't show up, so they get unfrozen. And then they're all sort of dealing with like culture clash, their own lack of importance, the fact that everybody they know is dead, and then they become like these political symbols. And then,
it's not, it's not really like that. It's just more of a sense of where like literally the own loosely kind of thing kind of ties with it is called the Center, which is pretty much the war that time forgotten. That little island, that's where this whole thing, I guess, is kind of come across. And also have John Henry Irons, little subplot. It's just this whole thing, so where you see all these, Silver Age heroes, just coming, and I gotta say, Darren Cook, he does really tremendous well with his art style. Like I said, is absolutely beautiful, and you know what? It is kind of funny because this is they made like a movie adaptation of this in animation called Justice League: The New Frontier.
Was not a fan.
You see, I kind of like it, but only one thing is like this remind me too much of Bruce Timm's style, and like we actually do read a book, it's like, oh, okay, well there are comparison between I guess with Darwin Cook and Bruce Timm, art wise, I guess you could say they both have that kind of deco ish.
No, I think they're trying to copy Bergman, George Bergman. What every artist needs to copy to master their muscle structure. Because Tim, like the original Batman that Bruce Timm does, it's all Bergman. It's all George Bergman style, that like blocky style that like filmmakers complain about. They're like, this doesn't exist in nature. No, but it exists in art. It is the foundation of art. In America, to learn those muscle structures, George Bergman is the one that taught all the DC artists how to do muscles. He's the guy who taught Will Eisner how to do muscles. So Bruce Timm is very sophisticated when he did Batman, The Dark Knight, and carrying that over, everyone says, "Oh, it's Bruce Timm style." No, it's George Bergman style. Everyone just copies it because you must copy it. That's what separates you from like the Asian manga market, because we know muscles. Because George Bridgman made the perfect muscle structure scales. You could, and you sit as an artist and just copy Bridgman all day, and that's how you learn muscles.
Well, that's something that's pretty damn interesting. And then now we kind of start with Batman Nightfall, which I think what most people know what Batman Nightfall is pretty much the kind of equivalent to the Death of Superman run, except this one is a little more smarter, and it's actually a whole lot better, and the art on it is pretty damn good.
Well, Nightfall covers like 6 years comics, right?
I want to see. You know what? I'm going with yes, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure.
I mean, I've been looking at the wiki page the last couple of days, because I've been looking at the new Nightfall series, which is released, I want to say 2011.
You mean the remastered series?
Yeah, the remastered series, because they have the older series that republishes the 1994 stuff, which is incomplete. But, because they made the Bane movie, they wanted to release the full-on story, and it's mostly all there. And according to the wiki page, you're missing the search section of Nightfall. So you're missing like 6 comics in the 3rd volume, which, yeah, go get them. Like they're cheap on eBay. That's like,
and they're really good. I gotta say, the art remind me so much of Neil Adams, which both Neil Adams and Dennis O'Neil did the run for Batman when they're trying to bring back Batman as a gritty detective when during the Silver Age he wasn't.
Well, you can't just like lump Neil Adams in the gritty. Neil Adams does a lot of wonderful stuff.
It makes it more like it reminded me that kind of similar kind of art style.
Well, and when I think Neil Adams, I'm thinking of the classic Green Lantern comic they did where they were trying to like empathize with African Americans, and he has that like sad black guy that's like asking Green Lantern, "You're doing everything for the purple people and the blue people. What are you doing for black people?" And
you white,
and he's the white conservative, and he's got Green Arrow there going, "You bastard! You're not doing everything for people. You're doing everything for the government." So Neil Adams is a god to me of comics, because Neil Adams, it looks good. It looks good. He's always been attached to very good stories. Neil Adams, Dead Man, which.
Oh yeah, he did do that.
Yeah, Dead Man is amazing. Like you have Dead Man, who's this red superhero, and then you think of another DC counterpart, which is a favorite of mine. This is a Creeper, which is you might have seen him in Batman. Is the green crazy.
Yeah.
Well, he's not green. He's like yellow crazy.
He is crazy.
Yeah, he does not ever get a good storyline. I've got all the Creeper stuff,
And none of them are good.
No, they did a Vertigo thing where it was a girl in France, but that's just a redone of V for Vendetta. You know, Neil Adams took this sort of silly character, Dead Man. He can possess people. He's like an acrobat from, I don't know, New Jersey or the Bronx or something.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there, like the most implausible thing ever. You know, and he's got all this Eastern, like, gods that are telling him what to do and about the afterlife. And Neil Adams took that and made it beautiful. You know, he made it beautiful, you know, attached good story to it. It got its due because of Neil Adams. So I massively respect Neil Adams. You know, he is a god, and whatever he does, you know, that's a god's work right there.
Well, Henry Nightfall.
Yeah, I'm right.
And like I said, at least what I've seen, it just kind of, the art style reminds me of that, of Neil Adams kind of stuff with his run Batman.
Yeah.
And then the one thing is kind of funny, like, who's the editor on this? Like, oh, Dennis O'Neil. Of course. You know what? That makes a whole lot of more sense now with the...
Yeah, like, I see the art, and I'm kind of iffy with it, because, you know, certain, like, some of the lines are a little thicker than I would like them to be. Color's decent. Like, the 94 stuff is great. It looks pretty. I haven't seen the remastered stuff. They tend to do this thing where they try to recolor things, which I think
and it doesn't look that good.
No, they do a thing the older artists would call overcoloring. Where it's kind of like movie lighting and movie makeup, and they like make them all pretty and stuff. But in nature, this doesn't exist. So in comics, you just see these shiny makeup people that look silly and look clownish to me, and it's just overcoloring. And some people like to do it.
And let's see, the last thing I wanted to say, like, I finally finished Batman Brave the Bold, which
the full series.
Yeah, the full series. I finally finished it, and I'm just particularly sad when I finally watched that final episode.
The ambush bugs.
Yes, it's the most crazy and most awesome.
No, the sad part. Who wrote that? Paul Dini.
Yes,
Paul Dini, guy who wrote Batman Arkham City, who wrote Batman Beyond,
and in most of the Batman stories. And
later on he became the story editor for the original Batman series, and I think he also was on Superman.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And it's just funny when watching the last episode, it's like it's so sad because wow, this episode is so great because they're breaking the fourth wall. And I'm loving that so much. Like it's because the fact they have this character Batmite and he can't fuck with reality and whatnot, and he's like, I'm gonna do this to cancel Batman, so I'm gonna make it dark and gritty. It's like it is. It's like the most best. It is
not the best episode.
I want to say it was one of the best.
It's not even. No.
So essentially the main bad guy this last episode.
He's not a bad guy. He's a reality-defying character that admires Batman, but he's a dick. He's just.
He's kind of innocent in kind of way, but he's like that kind of dick.
Yeah, he's the in Star Trek. He's Q from Star Trek. He's basically Q from Star Trek, but he's Q from Star Trek, who is the ultimate Batman fan. But he's insane. You know, he'll kill Batman to improve Batman. So
he literally breaks the fourth wall.
He literally breaks the fourth wall where because I think he changed the Aquaman voice from Joe DiMaggio to, I can't remember the one actor name, but he was in Married Children as Jefferson Darcy.
Oh, I don't know his name. I know who you're talking about.
Fuck, I remember him. I don't.
Even he calling out all these voice names. And Paul Rubens is the voice of Batmite. And it's just funny, you see the picture of Paul, you see Batmite face, it's Paul Rubens.
The weird thing about that episode is they introduced the 3D Batman, and it was a year later that they released that 3D Batman.
Well, no, it was Batgirl. That's.
No, they showed.
Yeah, they showed, but it was Batgirl, where it's no. And Ambush Bug is you do realize they're gonna be non-existent because you're canceled too.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about the Batman show that replaced the Batman Brave and the Bold, which is the 3D, which they actually showed in the end episode. And then a year later, that came out, and it only got like 16 episodes, and they canceled it even before the finale was done. And we won't see that ever again. They're not going to release a DVD with the complete episodes.
Really?
Well,
they're not going to release it. I mean, honestly, if you
they might. They've been very cagey about it. They sort of have pulled the series even before it was finished, so they're not even letting the full thing run. So you don't know if you're going to get a DVD with the full episodes complete with the things they didn't show.
So they didn't even air the whole thing.
No, and so they're just going into production with another Batman show or a toy line.
So I remember when they eventually ended Batman the Animated Series, and we all grieved. And then they started up the Batman, which I always thought was fucking stupid.
Yeah, but we got Justice League, which was Bruce Timm, so they weren't mourning so badly.
Yeah, we managed to get by because we had JL going around, and that had its ups and downs. Yeah. But then we had Batman the Brave and the Bold, which just seemed like an attempt to expand on the Batman.
No. It's pretty much like it's pretty much a big callback to like the Silver Age Batman. That's it is. It is.
To me, it was product placement. It was just showing off all the other characters in the DC universe while using Batman to be campy and action filled. It worked well, but it was too campy.
It was fun to me. Like it never become too campy than Adam West Batman. To me, that's.
Well, I mean,
that's pretty campy.
Well, that was the 80s. That was the
60s.
Yeah, it was the 60s. I'm sorry, 60s. First show in color, mind you, very groundbreaking. Adam West will always be a part of the Batman franchise. He has been forever. And yeah, I mean, there is a soft spot to those people that grew up in the 60s as all Batman, because it is silly and it is dumb and it does have those balloons that pop out, but you have Eartha Kitt as the Catwoman, and she's got like that sexy Eartha Kitt voice. So there is stuff there that you can appreciate just as a historical point of view.
And let's see, after I finish that, like I feel looking for some kind of soft spot. I was feeling for some soft things here and there, something that made me laugh. So, been watching Mystery Science Theater 3000. That's been on Netflix too. Yay!
Yes, it has.
Yeah. I've been loving that. I'm trying to think.
I tried to watch Godzilla versus Ghidorah, and I didn't have the same sort of fantastic nostalgic throwback.
I watched Dark Crystal. Dark Crystal by Jim Henson, the ultimate puppet guy. I haven't watched it previously. I got halfway through. I approve. I don't know. Yeah, people love Dark Crystal. Dark Crystal is a huge fan base. Dark Crystal, so Jim Henson. Actually, I have the Creature Creator book for Dark Crystal by Jim Henson. This is a weird thing not many people know. Jim Henson was a great artist. Like, really good. Like, the book has all these details of each character and what is tattooed on the character, what's carved into the castle, the designs. So I'm really impressed by Dark Crystal. Yeah, I don't know if it's a kids movie or is it serious.
It's one of the it's at a PG rating. So I mean, it could be one of those films where, like, it was
It was being made in one of those weird times where they were making like movies about these like weird fantasy barbarian worlds, like
Conan the Barbarian.
No, I think it was a little bit after Conan, like
Crawl.
Like Crawl or Crumb or something.
It was Crawl. I'm trying to think of what else. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Back in it was something.
Yeah, there's that guy who's sort of like. I have a bunch of specific skills, and what I will do is I will go and I will hurt you. Like that dude, Liam Neeson. Like, he was in one of them, and I don't remember what it was, but like he had multiple wives, and I kept thinking about this. I'm like, Austin to have multiple wives in just random locations.
See, Austin is a Liam Neeson. And
No, he wasn't even the main character. He was like a secondary character. And it was some movie like Claw or Crumb or something like that. I don't know. The whole thing was there was a special ninja star that was like magical, and they had to find a castle that would appear and disappear. And it was very much Dark Crystal, but no puppets. There was a Cyclops in it. That helps. None of us know the movie.
No, but it's already sounded awesome. Liam Neeson with 12 wives.
Well, he only met one wife, and then like the wife had this girl, and he was like looking at the girl, and the wife's like, "I'm gonna kill that girl," and it turns out the girl's evil and a creature and working for the dark side.
Still say it's awesome. Still say it's awesome that Liam Neeson with 12 wives.
Yeah, there should be like a modern movie where it's just Liam Neeson, he has 12 wives.
He goes around, he's fighting fucking wolves.
Yeah, it just has to be like magical and fight things.
Oh, I got a little confused around with the new Godzilla movie, and I got Bryan Cranston mixed up with Liam Neeson, and I just thought about that, like Liam Neeson versus Godzilla.
And it's not, well, it's supposed to be awesome. It's Mr. White versus Godzilla.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting combination too. But
no, isn't this thing in Godzilla like the government is like covering up Godzilla, and he has to go out and like get them to reveal the truth that there is Godzilla.
Actually, he didn't really even get one-on-one with Godzilla. He got a one-on-one with the other monsters.
The Moto. Hello, Moto.
I haven't seen
Hello, Moto.
I have no idea what's going on with Godzilla.
But yeah, wasn't it? Well, you were getting on about Godzilla versus Ghidorah, but apparently it didn't catch the nostalgia.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I used to like it when I was a kid, but I haven't seen Mystery Science Theater 3000 for years, and like just the puppets themselves and the actor, like I don't remember that guy.
Oh, well, because that was early. See, well, Mystery Science Theater came around, but like, it's funny too. Like, wait, I don't remember this. Where's Mike? Well, where's Mike?
Wait, what?
There's a guy on the Mystery Theater K. His name was Mike, and yeah, like, wait, this is not Mike. Who is this? And then it was like Joel's like, oh, and well, yeah.
Now, the only thing I know about Mystery Science Theater, I haven't actually watched it, but they ran out of, I guess, free movies to review. So now the guys who did it, they sell online sort of.
Oh yeah, they continue to call riff tracks.
Yeah, riff tracks that you actually play on top of actual movies you rent or whatever. The weird thing is their claim to fame is we've gotten more men to watch Twilight than he normally would have because of our riff tracks.
Okay, that concept actually intrigues me.
Yeah. The whole point is to slam the movie.
And the last thing I just have to mention, we're watching some classic Doctor Who. Because I'm waiting for the inedible season 8 of Doctor Who.
What are you, suck? Not gonna suck?
See, I want to say not gonna suck, but Stephen Moffat still has his head up his ass. So well, I don't know where it's gonna go to.
No, his whole freaking problem is he's got this sort of theory like, I will separate all the writers so they never meet or talk to each other, and so they will come up with more interesting and varied stories. Except in real life, art is created by combination. Like people,
community, cooperation.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a dumbass.
That would explain season 7.
Yeah.
That explains so much about it. Oh. And yeah, I've been watching some classic Doctor Who. Finally got to watch Enlightenment, which was really good. And I got to watch King's Demons, which was feature master. Like, wow, this is the one with the master that's not completely damn terrible. Actually pretty good. But the one I say, you know what? If I show this to Nick, I think he might get into the show. I'm not quite sure, but it's one that's so bad it's so good.
No interest in getting into it.
But it's so bad it's so good. I swear, it's called Warriors of Deep, and it's so bad, but it's so laughably bad.
Is this a movie or is it Doctor Who?
It's Doctor Who. But like I said, it's so enjoyably bad because it features the Solarians, the Sea Devils, and this new creature called the Makai, whatever it is. It's some thing in Doctor Who. Okay, pretty much like the Solarians, they look good during that time, I guess. And see the Sea Devils, it's like, okay, the Sea Devil looks kind of coolish, but it's like, how come they're all walking slow? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. They can barely see that fucking costume, can they? And literally, you see the kind of like just walking just so slow. And remember the one part when like you see one of the Sea Devils where it literally, okay, pretty much the head is like a little, like the neck is a little more bigger, so the head is a little more on top, and like literally the people who's inside these costumes, which for her has hole to kind of see. So literally they have to walk very slow to make sure they don't like fucking slam to anything. I remember the one part where like you see like the one Sea that's walking, I think he literally kind of stumbled when he kind of hit like somebody a bit. And it's the one called the Maka, which is literally like this big creature thing, and it's trying to like to get this door like get these quote unquote steel doors open. And as he does, you can tell that shit is rubbery. There's no hiding effect. That shit is fucking rubbery because like you seeing this creature just going.
You want to really give yourself that feeling? Watch some classic episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and watch the original putties. Yeah, just commit seppuku with your inner child.
Yeah, no, I tried it. We all remember Power Rangers a lot better than it was. Yeah, I remember back in the day, like the Black Power Ranger just dancing and fighting
and being really cool.
Yeah, but being so cool, and then you go back and you see it, and it's like it's not really being pulled off very well.
I was like,
it's just sort of like the things stand there and let him dance for a little bit, and then they like fall down when he sort of make these faint attempts to hit them.
Well, I tried going back and following the original Power Rangers.
God, no.
You know what? I actually was surprised how well it did hold up, because when I thought about the concept a little bit, I was like, okay. And I've seen the recent stuff, and like, okay, they're not going to be able to do so. But you know what? It holds up well enough. Like, if I had kids right now, I would probably approve of having them watch it. I mean, there are good lessons and values. It's definitely a good kids show, and it's definitely a fun, nostalgic trip back if you've got some serious hours to kill. But they've also got like 7 or 8 seasons with like 50 episodes per season.
Yeah, I mean,
so no. The first season was 50 episodes. But I think they did cut that down for a bit. And then you have, Power Rangers Zeo. Then after that, Power Rangers Turbo, Power Rangers in Space.
Ninjas at one point?
They were
Power Rangers, Ninjetti or whatever.
It was something like that. Like,
I don't know. To me, there's not a lot of value back there. I think the concept's interesting. I think Disney owns it.
They used to own it, but then Symbiote got the rights, and now they're on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, they got the rights back. They're the ones that originally owned the rights.
Yeah. And then they sell it to Disney, and then and then got that.
Didn't like a year or 2 years ago, like the Power Rangers just came back because the original actors were doing cons. I mean, they just did Ranger Con in Orlando last year, I think, and the Pink Ranger, who you never see. She's
Anna Jo Johansson.
Yeah, she's totally like turned her back on the series. She showed up for Orlando and she's signing autographs and being the Pink Ranger.
Take a bite out of her.
She was on Felicity.
Yeah,
yeah, she was. I'm like, wait, that's the Pink Ranger. That's Kimberly. I did it the entire time. Like, now I gotta watch this show because Kimberly is in it. I had to see where. So this is actually really
I would have started watching Felicity while it was on air, and I'd known that.
I have no idea what Felicity is.
Felicity is like one of those kind of teen drama shows. It's
kind of like One Tree Hill or Dawson's Creek.
It was like 100
on WB.
But it was like one of the good ones.
Yeah, it was a decent show. It got some You hear a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the legacy of Power Rangers is the toys and the people, the actors, because that's what we have now.
I did remember
For the most part.
I did remember watching let's see, it was Power Rangers Samurai. I did watch that, and you know what? For some reason, it reminded me of a lot of classic Power Rangers.
No, I like Lost Galaxy. I thought it was interesting because they have it's really sci-fi. They're flying in space in a giant city that's a spaceship, and yeah, they go to desert planets and fight. That was interesting to me, but it has that never-changing formula of there's 5 of them, and then a special one shows up.
Oh no, there's the formula varies a little bit. I mean, because they've had ones where the budget got really tight and they could only afford 3 Power Rangers in a season.
Yeah.
So there have been some exceptions, but I've seen some reviews of the seasons, but I haven't actually watched any actual Power Rangers since probably around Turbo while that was still airing.
I think the best way to do it is that the dude Linkara, who has a top of fourth wall, he does history of the Power Rangers, and he kind of cuts all the fat, all the filler, all the oh, we're gonna fight the big bad monster, boom. He literally cuts that and you just go for more of the kind of story arcs, and you kind of follow that. Some of the stories were actually pretty good when they introduced Tommy, the Green Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
It's how it was kind of badass.
Yeah, I checked into that just for pure nostalgic purposes, and I'm like, wow, they really weren't completely screwing everything up while I was away.
So
I mean, it still has always remained a kid's show and just didn't really keep up with me. But you know what? This is actually something like if you had a kid right now, you were a kid when it originally aired, and you're really concerned about the programming you're putting on, this is probably something that you really could feel comfortable and safe in just putting on and letting your kid watch.
So watch Power Rangers. Don't watch Doctor Who, Warriors of the Deep. But if you want a good laugh, watch Doctor Who, Warriors of the Deep. I had a great laugh because it was actually one fart joke.
Yeah, here's something you don't want to watch. I got talked into watching a Doctor Who episode.
But see, that's from Corey.
No, that wasn't Corey.
Oh.
That was a certain female someone who insisted I watch an episode partially involving a band called Electric Light Orchestra, who I happen to be a fan of. And at the very end, they had this guy and his girlfriend who got turned into a liquid and was absorbed into a pavement block. And now they have a sex life. And
yes.
Well, we don't want to really talk about that.
Monster in Love.
Oh shit! This motherfucker's having sex with a concrete block.
Yeah,
with a female.
I didn't hate that episode.
I kind of like that episode. I don't know, for some reason I did enjoy it, but been a while. Well, because the one thing to say, if you do want to, I guess if you have any curiosity to watch Doctor Who, just watch the first season. And if you
which Doctor?
With the new Doctor Who, just watch that and you feel interested.
The bald guy?
Yeah.
The bald Irish guy.
Yeah.
Alright.
And you know what? It's pretty good. Yeah, there are gonna be silly moments here and there. I'm not going to lie.
I like the first season of the reboot of Doctor Who for the modern age.
See, I don't really call it a reboot. I just call it they just brought it back.
Well, I mean, I previously have never watched Doctor Who to seeing that, and then all of a sudden BBC America became a real thing, and then they're like, Doctor Who! And I'm like, I've heard the word Doctor Who, I'll watch this. And it wasn't bad. I mean, he had some real, dark moments, when he made the, oldest woman in the universe die, and his attitude was, everybody has their time and place. She was evil, let her die.
Now, here's a fucked up thing. First time I heard the Doctor Who theme song, it was because Christian actually had that as his cell phone ringer. And I think you still have that as one of your ringers.
Yes. Well, right now I have Power Rangers on my phone.
I had that for a while myself.
See, right now it's Lost Galaxy.
Then a few months later, it turns out I heard that sound again inside my very own house. Turns out my father had that ringtone that he had personally selected as his default. Because it turns out my father was one of the original Whovians. Put a bullet in my head, why don't you?
Now that's a little segment of what we're into right now. And now, well, has anybody seen any movies in the movie theater?
This week, no.
I've stopped giving money to Hollywood.
So that's
not a terrible thing.
So that's pretty much a no. So let's move on to the news.
Okay.
So yeah, like, anyway, I'm gonna do this one news because it's something for Nick, and it's actually something really good.
Oh boy.
No, I promise you, it's something really good.
I'll take a swig of my cocktail.
And see, usually I don't really announce that kind of stuff, but like, I want to say it's around September that Halloween is gonna come out with a big collection of all the movies, and that's including the remake. And you know what? Usually I'm like, I know, but hey, you know what? It's coming on Blu-ray, all of them. And apparently has some to news.
What good does that do me? I don't have a Blu-ray.
Well, technically you do. But yeah, like I said, normally, but also it's also a DVD collection. And like I said, normally I wouldn't not say this until I saw a thing that says like, oh wait, they're gonna bring out the never release producer's cut of Halloween 6: The Curse of Michael Myers. I'm like, I have to get this now. I have to buy it just out of sheer curiosity.
Please don't.
Historically, has the sixth movie of anything been predominantly considered an excellent movie?
But see, that's the whole thing about it. I just want to get just for that reason. For those who may not know of the whole
finishing my cocktail, thank you very much.
The whole thing with Halloween 6. See, it goes from Halloween 4 to up to Halloween 6, where they call like the Thorn trilogy, where is his symbol like I guess supposed to look like a thorn or whatever. That's going throughout from Halloween 4 to up to Halloween 6. And Halloween 6 is supposed to be the one where like it kind of goes to this whole kind of collusion, this pretty kind of full circle of everything that's been going on. Well,
bullshit.
Well, there are two releases. One was the producer cut that never got released, only except like in bootlegs, and well, the theatrical cut. The producer's cut, well, there's a scene where Michael Myers will plow his own niece.
Finally.
Well, I don't think they show it, but it's indicated that he plowed his own niece and impregnated her.
Like I said, the sixth version of anything. Has it ever been considered good?
And see, the only drawback with the producer's cut is that it's more the entire story this time, emphasis the entire cult. But the problem with that is there's less Michael Myers. And then you have, the theatrical cut with more Michael Myers, but less of this entire bullshit. So literally up to you literally have these two shits. One is dry piece of shit, the other is diarrhea piece of shit.
Alright.
And you know what, just as sheer curiosity, I want to get this just because of that producer's cut. So
you know what? When it comes to Halloween, I've always been a huge fan. I've always felt that Halloween is the premium when it comes to slasher films in general. And when it comes down to it, I'm going to put it this way. The first and second were good films. The fourth and fifth were fantastic films. The what was it? Seventh, H2O, I believe it was. I love that one too.
Damn.
And those are the good films. And the first one, that is the original. And the second one was basically a continuation of the same night, which was literally took all the awesomeness of the first film and I felt continued it equally and multiplied it, just kept the stream going and had a fantastic ending. The third one had nothing to do with Michael Myers. It has its own little cult following as a standalone film, which it really isn't. But you know what? It's a weirdo film, but as I was expecting through the entire film, like, okay, where's Michael? Where's Michael? Where's Michael? And then when the movie finally ended, and I realized as I watched the credit roll that Michael Myers didn't appear anywhere, I was an unhappy camper.
And I think that's more of like, that's pretty much more the movie company fault, where it should explain more like, whoa, pretty much this next Halloween movie is not going to follow, because what they really wanted to do was pretty much in each Halloween something happens.
Yeah, they wanted to make it like a different story for each film. That's what they wanted.
The concept idea sounds good.
Yeah, it was solid, but the thing is, people were addicted to Michael Myers, and honestly, I don't really know if Halloween 3 was solid enough on its own. You can do that kind of stuff, but I don't know if it was enough to take off. But
I got you.
The thing with that was, I kind of watched it like 20 years after it had been made, and I was like, maybe 9 or 10, maybe. I got into horror films early, man, but I didn't get all that shit. I just wanted some Michael Myers stabbing some people and maybe some naked ladies. Yeah, that one didn't have any. But then we get the fourth film, which I thought was brilliant, and it had a really interesting twist ending, where his niece actually becomes, in an aspect, like Michael, and stabs her own stepmother. And that's a really heavy thing.
Then you have the revenge. Oh, they have the revenge of Michael Myers. Where
the fifth ones or the fourth ones where you have some of the heaviest stuff too, because he does some really badass stuff. They actually catch him, like. They really organize a posse, catch him.
Blowing the fuck up, apparently.
Blowing the fuck up. He breaks out of a prison and kills everything on his way out. Like, that's some badass shit.
That's the fifth one. Then you get into the sixth one.
No, that's the fourth one.
No, that's the fifth. No, that's the fifth one. That's the ending. The fourth one, when like they did organize a little mob and blow the fuck out of Michael. And then the fifth one, where like, they capture Michael and they locked him up. And then he fucking escaped that fucking jail cell like a boss.
Yeah. But there's also the part where he literally, and this is one of the things that ruins the sixth film, Michael Myers has a formula. He doesn't talk and he doesn't run. He doesn't need to talk to you. He's not looking for negotiations. He's not going to trick you or coax you. He's just going to kill you. That's it. He's not going to run because he doesn't need to. He's coming after you and he's going to catch up.
Yeah, I think
in the fourth one, he literally pops up out of the rear of a pickup truck traveling 80 miles down an empty highway, kills 3 rednecks sitting on the bed with shotguns, then kills another one that's driving, I believe, or at least he fucks him up. And like, this is some badass shit.
And it doesn't happen, it sounds actually kind of awesome.
Yeah, he did. I don't remember the exact setup of it, but he does some really badass shit there. Like, he earns his props.
And then you go to Curse of Michael Myers, which it's already weak on its own.
No, it starts out pretty weak with the girl giving birth in a hospital. They don't.
Well, it's more like they go into like this really elaborate kind of dungeon thing.
Yeah, and they don't really tell you what exactly is going on. Now, I can see where this whole he rapes his niece thing, because in that film she's giving birth to a child, but they probably like kept that out.
They kept most of that entire. So, like I said,
yeah.
With the theatrical cut, it was more Michael but less story. The producer cut, less Michael, more story, which is just absolutely just bonkers, fucking insane. And I kind of want to get that.
Among other things, yes. Say nothing for ridiculously awful.
Oh, and also, see, I'm not quite sure, but I think also the collection has like another Blu-ray thing of Halloween where I'm not exactly sure, but they kind of changed. They changed the coloring to like the original how it was, and for I heard it's a completely different film, but it's amazing, completely different film. Although it's still the same film, and also they're gonna release like the television version of Halloween 2. So yeah, so Nick, how you like that? They're gonna release the producer's cut of Halloween 6.
The biggest thing in that, like, you can forgive a horror film or a slasher film for having a weak story. You don't necessarily go there for a good story. You go there for blood and a cheap thrill. But what gives you the best thrill from the Halloween series is the character Michael Myers and his very absolute apathy as far as his victims. And the fact that his victims are always his family, and anything that gets between him and Plan A dies, even like just mildly in the way, dies, and in a pretty gruesome way. And he doesn't talk, he doesn't run, he just does. In the fucking 6, he talks, he yells, and he runs like...
Are you sure?
He runs like an Olympic sprinter.
See, I want to say I think you're thinking about like Halloween 2, the remake.
No. This is...
Because I know in that one they have... with that one I heard they were much more balls out crazy.
It's got some balls out crazy in it, don't get me wrong.
Kind of Rob Zombie version of Halloween 2, which I heard is... That one I heard is the balls out crazy, where literally Michael is talking in full sentence. And you see his face.
God, no.
And he looked like a damn homeless person.
You know, I actually watched the remake. I'm not a fan of Rob Zombie. He's like a crack addict with a producer's license. Like, he's going out there just to make some really fucked up shit, because that's what he likes. And there's a market for it. But when he said he was going to do Halloween, like, oh, this isn't good. I was against it from the beginning. I've seen House of a Thousand Corpses.
The Devil's Reject.
The Devil Rejects.
Which I say, like, I know what, The Devil Reject is a really good movie. In my opinion.
Yeah, I like Devil's Reject.
I think Devil's Rejects is a better movie, but more, not so much as a horror film, but more an examination of humans just in general and just how horribly fucked up they can be.
And, granted, the remake Halloween, like, I liked it, but, when I keep watching the original Halloween over and over, like, for each year, it's like, you know what? Yeah.
Did we go and see Halloween today?
Yeah, we see the original Halloween in theaters.
We saw the original Halloween done, presented by Rob Zombie. That was before his remake was released.
Yeah.
Which we did in the middle of the night, which was good. And then we went to see Halloween, and didn't we talk to some guy? There's an old man, and he had Halloween 1, he had Halloween 2, and he was just like screaming at little kids, like, do you know who this is? And, like, he would just come up to little kids and scream, and then he came up to, I think he came up to either me or you, and he did the same thing. He's like, do you know who this is? And I'm like, William Shatner. And he like looks back at me. It's like, no, it's Michael Myers. And I'm like, no, it's the mask of William Shatner turned inside out, spray painted. And then we had a very interesting conversation about the movie Halloween, about the actors in the new movie Halloween. The doctor was in some movie. What's his name?
Yeah, I know. That's one of the biggest problems I had with the fucking remake was they gave him all this backstory. Michael Myers is scary not because he had a bad childhood or he had one bad night and he was abused for a few years.
It's just the fact like he just snaps for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. And then he comes back to being, and then he just has a terrible life in an insane asylum. No, he doesn't have a backstory. He just... Something's wrong with him. He's a bad person. Something just snaps right in him.
Something just snaps in him. You're like, well, we know.
Yeah, you don't know what it is that really drives.
Is it supernatural?
Michael Myers. Yeah,
it is something because he's crazy as fuck. We don't know.
It's always hinted at, but you never really know. You know that it's pretty fucking hard to kill him, that he is always pretty fucking strong, and he doesn't really take very kindly to teenagers having premarital intercourse. But other than that, there's all kinds of question marks, and that's what makes him one of the scariest things. Meanwhile, in this other one, he literally is just this semi-catatonic super giant that has all these superhuman strength powers and size. Like, he doesn't need to be a giant. He doesn't need to be super strong like that. It's his goal that makes him scary. And the fact that he can just achieve it.
I think we talked about Hawkeye quite enough. Next up, Nick, do you have any news stories or no?
News stories? Well, I got one that I've been meaning to talk about now. You know about this one, and I've brought it up to you already, but
yes.
You're a huge Slender Man fan.
Well, okay, let's put this in context, because I know I do have some fans out there that have listened to my show. I know the people out there that have listened to me, and well, for some of those people, I know for some of them they don't absolutely agree what I say about the whole Slender vlog of wherever I review on my channel. I'm gonna put this out there. They don't exactly say that I am like an absolute
authority.
Yeah, the authority on this.
No, he's not an authority on this. Trust me, I assure you, he is not an authority on Slender Man.
I'm not an authority on the Slender vlogs. He's just a fan. I'm not an authority on the Slender vlogs. Just putting it out there. Do not crucify me. Wherever to opinions I have or whatsoever.
No crucifying, no sodomizing, no pink bellies.
Do not worship me.
But yes. Throughout this, it was both last week and a week before, some quote-unquote Slenderman related killings kind of happened. Well, they're not really killings. They're attempted murder.
Slender-stabbings, as it would be.
The first one was with the two girls that somehow planned this out. I think it was a month or two.
No, about 4 months, I believe. Actually, they in order to appease Slender Man, they decided they were going to stab and kill one of their female classmates. And these girls were only about 14 or such. And this, I don't know if you're familiar with Slender Man. This is like a campfire story that was made up on the internet.
Well, see, what recently happened, okay. This is one thing I did actually do know really well. It was created by the dude, I can't remember the name, Eric Kripke or whatever. This dude named Eric. And it's this forum called Something Awful, where I think do some kind of contest, whatever. And they make the creepiest photo and put some backstory behind it. And so he created a thing called Slender Man, which, is pretty much is this being, this kind of creature that he has no face, he's tall, hence they have a nickname for him called the Tall Man, and he sometimes will have tentacles, and he kidnaps
extra arms. The thing is, he created it, and it became very popular. A lot of people have added on to this story since then, things like
Slender vlogs.
Yes. Not just vlogs, but just little stories.
And also Slender
articles,
blogs, and shit beyond that.
It's a franchise that's literally just grown from volunteers on the internet, and some really creative stuff has come from there.
Yeah, like I've been,
that's what you've been doing.
Yeah, that's my thing.
But the key word here is it's all made up. Literally, it's made up, and you can go out there and make shit up too. It's fictional completely. You could not get any more fake than this. It's just something to amuse ourselves like Michael Myers. And these girls decided they were going to, and these are their words, they were going to stab her to please Slender Man. Now, am I the only person here that finds this pretty fucking stupid?
I found it pretty fucking stupid.
Exactly. I mean, is that the Slender Man that you pray to, Christian?
I pray
Does he request the stabbing of little girls?
No.
Ross,
Whoa.
can I clarify a few things? What did they stab her with? She didn't
Knife.
kill her. It was a knife. How big of a knife?
Don't know, but they stabbed her a lot of times.
19 times.
Huh.
I wanted to say it could be in a steak knife or God knows, but it was pretty sharp and stabbed her 19 times and and that's
Were they committed to the Slender Man thing, or is it the thing you like sarcastically say just because you did some fucked up shit and people are asking bullshit questions?
No, they were planning this for 4 fucking months. They thought this through. They're like,
how old are they again?
It's around like 12 to 13. I wanted to say.
I thought they were like 14.
It's it's between 12 to 14.
Somewhere in
I
there.
gotta say, I'm impressed by the psychology of what the fuck is happening. It's terrible, but it's also it's like a rat's nest that's interesting in this horrible way.
Well, see, I have like 2 theories of this, where the fact like these 2 girls, but see that's the mackless part about it. Somehow these 2 girls are just that fucking psychotic, or where
they're
like
girls
Yeah.
aren't really
Teenage girls have a tendency to be crazy. Matter of fact, they have a tendency to be crazy when they're adults.
Yeah, but it's more like bitchiness and like picking fights. And
yeah, this is a few over the cuckoo's nest.
This is a male crime. This is a very sort of,
this is something that you really see as more of a pattern out of teenage male behavior, psychotic killings of this sort, and you got 2 of them that worked together on this.
And see, that's the one part where like
2 of them that thought this was a good idea at the same time, and over the course of 4 months, neither one of these little fucking bitches did it ever occur to them, like, you know what? Maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe we should see where this was coming from.
No. They never said that at all.
Does the psychology of a 13 and 12-year-old really go back to this sort of moral ambiguity? Because I think we're imbuing them with all these things that I don't think a 14.
Look, I'm sorry. When you're 14, you should at least be able to figure this shit out. I mean, 6 or 7, I can let that go. But at 14, 100 years ago, women were getting married at 14 and raising a family. You should be able to figure this shit out. And don't stab people for fictional characters.
But I think I have a theory to this, and it's a strong theory, and I think we talked about this before.
What's your theory?
The theory about what I have here is that, and hear me out, the human mind is a very powerful thing.
Are you factoring development?
Yes. Just like
thereof.
But see, just hear me out.
Well, you're assuming that people are born morally.
No. See,
Lord of the Flies have proven that children are the most dangerous fucking thing on the planet.
Well, A, Lord of the Flies was a fictional novel, and B, it's not a matter of morality. Like, you stab someone, bad shit's going to happen to you. It's a simple matter of consequences. You got to be able to get that concept down at the very least. You go out and stab someone. Where's the train of logic here? You think just the girl's parents are going to go, oh well, she didn't come home.
Well, I mean,
just make a new one.
Again,
they call the cops.
Yeah, but at the age of 12 and 13, are you thinking long stage strategy in your life, or are you thinking?
You should at least be thinking plan B or step 2. I mean, these bitches were like the frickin' underpants gnomes here. It's like step 1, stab girl. Step 2, step 3, please Slender Man. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, like I said, I have a theory to this, and I guess to go back to what I was saying.
Your theory, sir.
What I was getting at, to the human mind is a very powerful thing, and sometimes in sort of these kind of things, we had a tendency to think, either logically or created a very creative idea to this.
Well, there's an emotional state, and then there's a logical state, and then there's just like, I don't give a shit, and I'm just gonna go with whatever the fuck is gonna happen state.
And see, prior to this, the people who was in these religions, and the hardcore religion factors where they say, oh, I met God. I seen God. I talked to God.
You're assuming there's like these 13 and 12-year-olds have experienced this religious.
No, but see,
I've seen these kids that have, sir,
Yeah, but
or claim to.
Yeah, but you've seen that doesn't mean that the specific girls that stabbed were these things.
But see, that's
no. He's using this as an example. You can get these sort of powerful hallucinations and mind-numbing poor judgments from people that have extremely bad influences around them. Am I right?
Yeah, like not that long ago.
I would call it disassociation with reality.
That could be one of the things too. What I'm trying to get at is this. Is in fact, these two girls were reading whatever creepypasta, whatever bullshit, and it scared the shit out of them. Now,
they seem pretty happy with the Slender Man idea.
But it scared out of the whole goddamn mind that they started to think
I don't think it's fear as much as it's desire. Because they want.
But they said. I didn't remember reading the article I think they did say, they were kind of fearing, and they want to please him so that way they can leave them the fuck alone.
The news media sort of create that sort of statement.
That could be true too, but at the same time though, how sure are we? How sure is actually pleasing, and how sure is fearing? My theory to this is that
are you going to do something stupid like that because you're that scared? I mean, fear is sort of a reactionary thing. You don't sit for 4 months and plan shit out.
But sometimes it could happen. I mean, what about people who pray to a God that says, and God tells them, what, go blow that fucking building up. Sure, God, why not?
That happens pretty fucking often.
And that's something that could happen to this, where it could be what you're saying. It could be my little thing of where. It's just that sometimes fear could really fuck you up. Sometimes it could.
I'd go the other way with this. Just it's desire to do something. It's disassociating with reality. It's not thinking critically about consequences, and it's just being young and not being very morally established. Your morality has not been established. So you think stabbing a friend or another girl to please some non-existing deity that exists on the internet, maybe an interesting thing to do. It's not smart. We all know that, but you're 13, you're 12, you're a dumbass. You have to go through these insane situations to come through the other side, and they did it in the most extreme, twisted way humanly possible. That's my idea of it. That's how I see these girls.
No, but it gets even better from there. It really does, because Christian makes a good point, but the thing is, this is fantasy. It literally, what's the website called? Haunted Spaghetti?
Creepypasta. That's what it's called.
Whatever. But it's documented as fake.
Yeah.
The only way that becomes real is because you need something to do, so you make it real. And that's where Mike comes in, and he's right. But the straight up thing here is, now we're going into a whole different category, because it doesn't end there. We got another girl this week.
No, last week.
Last week, whatever. Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah, it was last week where a this girl stabs her own mother, and she had no recollection of this. And she blames Slender-Man for it.
Oh, yeah.
The girl has no recollection of it?
She had no, that's what she said. She remembered that she stabbed her own mother.
In what context did she stab her mother?
A lot of those details haven't been released.
Alright.
I'm willing to bet this goes in either one of two ways. Either one, her daughter, the girl is severely hardcore fucked up and needs to be chained up, because you don't just have a psychotic episode like that and go stabbing people and just get to go back home. You really do need some hardcore therapy. Or B,
she probably was born brat.
Yeah, she's just a little fucking bitch, and her mother didn't mind getting stabbed so much, so they concocted this little theory together based on the information from last week. Now, this is the situation I actually like more, because I like to believe that there aren't that many of these psychotic people out there, and it's just one of these stupid little bitches that thinks she has the right to go off stabbing people, which will be corrected real damn quick
And
when you get into the real world.
And you know what? I think I'm going to release at least somewhat of this kind of clip into one of the Facebook group pages. And let me just say this to all.
Don't stab people?
Well, that's a very big factor. But see, there's someone out there that want to like put charity, for some of these kind of action. And I say to that, like, you know what? It's somebody that's a nice gesture. I think you should, if you want to do that, you do it anonymously. Don't say you're from this Slender blog, whatever site thing, whatever, because
but how does
that just makes it a bad idea.
No. If you want to give charitable donation to these little stabbing girls, just sort of take that money and just hand it over to a food bank.
But I think
there are better things you can do in this world with money.
But see, the whole charity thing.
Fuck them.
But see, the charity thing was that for actually with the first girl that she got stabbed, and they want to pay her hospital bill.
Oh yeah,
that's a good thing to do.
That's and
I can't object to that.
And you absolutely should. The other one, like, that's your kid. You deal with that. You're the one. You're the one who didn't one way or another. She did some hardcore fucking up as a parent.
That's kind of like a social irresponsibility thing. Like, you have a really fucked up kid. The kid's probably going to get more fucked up. Do we give them money to fix the kid? Or, like, we just let the kid just be fucked up and just be like, well, you fucked up. You got to fix it on your own. We're not going to help you, but really...
Either the kid's a little bitch or she's a little psycho, in which, in either case, it's the mother's problem to either fix it or put her down.
We don't know jack shit about either of these people. We could meet her.
No, not the kid that was stabbed. The one that stabbed her mother.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't know her either. So,
I'd rather not. Apparently, you've seen what she does to people she knows.
Well, it was just her mother. I don't exactly.
It's just her mother. Yeah, it's not like she has any important role in her life or anything.
Well, I mean, your statement is, the people that she knows. That's assuming everybody she knows just gets a knife somewhere.
But okay, what I'm trying to say is this: if you are going to do that, all right. Well, I don't know if they have done that, but if I'm going to,
I would say
thing, guys. Just keep it anonymous, sort of like if it needs a name. Just say a name. Don't say where you are because, I think, nobody would want to accept some kind of charity from Slender people because, that's like, a rape victim who been raped by a clown will all of a sudden get a charity from Binky the Clown.
We're mixing things up. We're jumping from murder to rape or attempted murder.
No, I'm just giving an example of that. But, for those people...
So you're saying, so if someone is raped by a clown, if a clown college comes together, puts money together, and gives to the rape victim, they shouldn't attach their name because they don't want to project a happy image of clowns doing good clown
But
things.
see, if you got raped by a bunch of clowns...
You don't really want to be talking to any clowns right now.
Yeah. That's kind of the whole point I'm trying to make about that. And, for some of the people who do have their, the creepypasta who quote unquote are worrying about like, oh, hopefully they'll ban creepypasta. They're not gonna ban creepypasta.
They really can't.
Yeah, it's the internet. It's free.
If they can't ban porn, I think they cannot ban your precious creepypasta.
They can ban porn. Ban kitty porn.
Well, yeah. But I mean, porn that has, two adults fucking. And, for those...
You have a legal right to that.
And, for those, who feel, they have some kind of thing, like, it's their kind of fault, or, like, they're...
on the Slender Man side, if it's their fault, on the
Slender... Like, they feel like, they're... I did like kind of some... They feel like, they're...
responsibility...
Yeah.
As the mythos generators for Slender Man.
But see, I wanted to say, like, it's not your responsibility. It's not your fault. It, with it...
It'd be weird to think that there are people on the internet that are just sort of like, I wrote about Slender Man, and now these kids have just stabbed the girl because of what I wrote. It'd be weird to see a creator be like that, because
You know what? I can see if I was like an author of one of these little storylines, and it just so happened I wrote a story about how Slender Man's greatest appeasement is the slaying and stabbing with steel blades as a metaphor for your love for him, of teenage females close to you.
Oddly specific.
Yeah, I would take issue with that, and I would feel really guilty, and I would probably throw a few bucks at him.
Yeah,
But outside of that context, that very specific and necessarily specific context, I can't say I'd feel.
Yeah, I don't see the feeling there.
That's my whole thing. Like, don't feel responsible. It's not your fault.
No shit, it's not your fault. You wrote something. Someone believed something insane based on what was written.
Like the example of that could be, it was like a case long ago where like Judas Priest was getting sued because apparently some.
Yeah, what about the shooting of Reagan from Taxi Driver? Was it Taxi Driver's fault?
No.
Was it the girl in Taxi Driver's fault?
No.
Well, according to the guy that shot Reagan, it was. So, fuck him. He's crazy.
Exactly. And that's what they're trying to go by. Like, just don't feel responsible. Like, just.
Wait, no, he didn't shoot Reagan. He shot Lenin.
Well.
Fuck that guy. I liked Lenin.
Either way, just don't feel responsible. Continually keep on doing, And, if you feel some remorse about it, just don't. Like. I mean, don't, you in some way you gotta feel kind of bad, but don't feel remorse about it because, it's not exactly your fault.
Yeah, you really need our comforting.
We're here to hug you. I know Nick's here to hug you.
We love you. We care about you. You didn't fuck up. This just happened. It was crazy. It's not your fault. Maybe society failed a little bit, but it was not your fault personally.
It actually brings me into a topic I wanted to discuss tonight, and that's, can't we have anything fun? Because people do feel guilty about it. People are getting held. People will eventually be held.
I mean, if I was on this thing and I wrote a thing about Slender Man, and it was specific enough about kids killing Slender Man, and some kids killed Slender Man, I wouldn't be that broken up about it. I'd be sort of like, wait, was this me? It would be a questioning thing, but at the same time, I'm like, I created words in a vacuum that was fictional. Somebody obsessed about these words and then took this from the world that it existed and took it into another world.
Exactly.
And I don't have any control of that world. I wish I had control of that world. I don't. I'd be a lot richer if I did. But I don't.
No, but
and it's their thing.
There are people that follow this. I mean, there are lots of elements to this stuff. And it's not just Slender Man, but we have all sorts of things where we as humans, we like to express our violence. We have violent natures, and we have outlets we like to express them through. But can't we just have something that's just fun? I mean, I love Bruce Willis films, but I can't help but notice
there's a deeper issue there that you're simplifying about the human obsession with violence. Because there is a love of violence in us.
There is. There's no doubt of it. But that doesn't necessarily make it a bad or good thing. But it's a matter of we have.
You know what?
It becomes a bad thing when you go out and you kill someone.
You know what? We will come back into this. I still have a news story here. I still have some news segments that I want to go through.
Okay, go.
So yeah, but we will. You know what? I think we'll get back onto that. I did have a topic in mind, but you know what? Maybe this could be the actually interesting kind of topic to kind of talk about. Okay. So yeah, well, there's some other news stories going around that has something to do with the Amazing Spider-Man 3, and this does kind of relate to us saying about during our comeback episode, where Bruno was saying that I think a while ago, I can't remember who it was, but somebody said like, "Oh, Marvel gonna get that Spider-Man rights back," and it's a little joke, and going, "Ha ha ha."
Yeah, they're not gonna give the people that wrote. If Watchmen's not gonna go back, you're not gonna give Spider-Man back.
But see, that's why I think, what, and it has some evidence to kind of back this up, where like Sony is now like selling like most of their shit, and like they sell one of their stocks of Square's, where Square Enix is a big game company, where they produce like Final Fantasy and most of that stuff. And I know they sell like most of their stock too. So like, and from pretty much still this Spider-Man reboot, well, has not been tremendously successful compared to his predecessor. And this is where I think where now we kind of see more of like the bricks kind of falling down a bit. It's one of those bricks that's falling down, and well, this is kind of news that kind of going around that Sony pushed back the date of the release of Spider-Man 3 from 2016 to 2017, 3 years, where I guess their plan was to release Spider-Man movies up to 2 years. But it's kind of strange to release a Spider-Man movie that's going to be releasing in 3 years. And what I kind of heard about this because, well, the Spider-Man movies had not making that much money like a predecessor has, which was like fucking shitloads of money compared to right now.
Is that a king shitload or a metric shitload?
Metric shitload. Just because it sounds, just because it sounds a lot more higher. And it's one of those things that is coming to the downfall where Sony has to sell those Spider-Man rights back to Marvel. And yeah.
So you're asking our opinion on that, or?
Well,
it's a news story, my dear.
So the news story is Sony may sell back their rights to Spider-Man
sooner than later because
they're not making enough money.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a big fan of Sony's management of its artistic works because, of course, they own Boondocks. They've done the worst job humanly possible at getting the proper return from Boondocks. So, yeah, I don't know. I would love to see Sony return back to an electronics company where they just made electronics. Because owning artistic works and taking care of them are two different things, and I don't think they do them very well. They don't use the artistic works enough. They don't produce high enough qualities. They get in fights with the creators and the artistic directors who are basically the fathers and sisters and mothers and such of these works. And yeah, I don't see them holding on to artistic works very long because they're not good at taking care of them. So the fact that they own Spider-Man.
So you think they're gonna give back the rights within about 5 to 10 years?
I also think it's a business, and a business is soulless and evil, and wants to do the thing that will give it the most power. So at the same time, I think they're going to hold on to it, and they're only going to return it right at its very peak when they have to. Just because that's the most evil thing you can do. And that's kind of what I think of Sony. I'm just sort of you're bad at what you do, you don't really want to do it very much, but you're evil and you're wrong and you're a monster and you're just going to do the worst thing possible because that's the most evil thing you can possibly do.
Really? They speak so highly of you.
Exactly. Just love me over there.
So yeah. Nick, anything else you want to put out there or no?
Not quite related to news stories.
Oh. Well, then I guess I'll continue with, I think it was an episode before this that we talked about summer movies, and one of them was Jupiter Ascending. Well, instead of releasing around the summertime, it actually is pushed back next year. It'll be released around February of 2015. And from what I heard, and the reason why I heard it because it's the Wachowski siblings, not the Wachowski brothers, because they're no more brothers anymore. Just only one of them turned to.
I love to say that over and over again.
Because
they're the ones that did the Matrix.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I say, it's not a Wachowski brothers, it's a Wachowski sibling because one of them is snip that thing off.
Post-op.
Ah.
Yes.
All right.
Can't imagine what. I don't want to do that, but whatever.
And the reason why for this is, because from what I read, and what I found out the reason why for it It's because they just need more time on the special effects because for July release date they couldn't pretty much they just need more time for just special effects and whatnot.
I know nothing about this movie.
It's cool. Like it's futuristic, I guess, and it has spaceship and whatnot. Pew pew.
Yeah.
And it's with Chelsea's, and I heard some good things about
Do you know who the effects director is going to be? Or?
No, I don't really have.
Okay, here's a new trailer that's coming up.
Oh shit.
Dumb and Dumber 2.
What's it? Nick, damn it.
What?
We can't. Well, we could, but at the same time, I don't think nobody's going to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What?
Damn it. Should throw this at you. But yeah, just the next just moved kind of running wrong. Fucking asshole. Jason Momoa will be played Aquaman. And Jason Momoa, he was Conan the Barbarian. Like the latest one that came out I forgot a couple of years back. He was playing Game of Thrones, and I think he was in Stargate, I guess.
Oh, I don't care.
I kind of do because Aquaman had become one of my favorite characters over.
Well, you're talking about like a DC. What is this? DC movie or DC series?
That DC movie that's gonna be he's gonna be in Batman vs Superman. Dawn of Justice.
Jesus Christ! How many Batman Supermans are there? There's just the one movie because there's
just only this one.
Because Wonder Woman's in there.
Martian Manhunter. It's like a shitload of like people that. It should have been. It should have just been called the entire DC universe featuring Batman and Superman. That should have been called.
Yeah, but they haven't. Who's the director?
Zack Snyder.
It's gonna suck.
Thank you.
No, I got nothing else to say. It's because they haven't been churning out the proper scripts for the DC movies. Zack Snyder, I don't trust his directing talent that highly. I mean, when he's got a good script, he's half decent. When he's got a bad script, run for your life.
He did have a decent script, just they changed the whole ending. It was him and David S. Goyer changed the whole ending of Man of Steel.
I mean, I've written off DC movies before. I wrote off The Dark Knight, and I had to eat a lot of
crow.
Yeah, exactly, because that was one of the best movies ever made from comics. And but I'm less optimistic about DC movies, just because they haven't been they haven't had the huge successes.
No, the Dark Knight movies.
The second Dark Knight movie was the most successful,
and the third one, like
they traded off the success of the second one.
It's still successful. Like no matter what you see, those movies are still successful.
Yeah, but Disney is crushing them hand over fist.
Yeah,
it's shamefully sad. Like DC DC movies just sort of look up at the like Disney movies. They're just like, why can't we be up there? And they have problems because they're having directors that are sort of teen idol directors. They're aiming for the teenage audience, and they're not respecting the titles properly. And that's why I don't have any faith. That's why whenever they make like a casting decision, I'm like, all right, whatever. It's not like it matters.
Well, the only one that didn't matter was Ben Affleck. And I think Ben Affleck.
Everybody's been talking about Argo, and I actually went back and I watched Argo, and I'm like, I don't see it. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I'm not anywhere around it.
Well, just the fact that
you get into international politics, it's really fucking intense because that's literally
Argo.
That's how the shit fucking happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on Argo, but Argo was produced by George Clooney, and George Clooney knows his shit. I've never been disappointed by a George Clooney movie.
You know what? Some of the storyboards they have there is Jack Kirby's. I'm like, I want those storyboards.
No, it's not. Well, they're
the story. Yeah, the story. I want those storyboards just because it's by Jack Kirby.
All right. They look familiar, but I don't know which artist they are.
And last news story. Apparently, DC is coming up with another crisis. Yay! And from the rumors, it's gonna be. Hey, apparently, going to do another reboot, but reboot it back before
So it's a
52.
reboot of a reboot to reboot it back to the before the reboot.
Rebootception.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't read any of the new 52 titles. I don't know.
Well, it's a whole thing of like some are hits, some are misses, and those hits are the ones that get canceled. But except for Batman, except for Superman, except for the ones that kind of do matter. But the ones that apparently it doesn't really matter, like Demon Knights or for Arnold, they probably canceled Constantine. I'm not saying they did, but for I know they probably canceled Constantine.
Well, I mean, eventually they'd have to have dropped the new 52 crap, because how long are you going to keep going with that? It's DC. We know what the characters are. We just want them. It can't be new forever.
Well, it just called it 52, but at this point, I don't really care. DC 52 sucks.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. It sucks. I'm sorry for those who like the new 52. You're fucking stupid.
It's selling pretty well, but like for me, hanging out in the comic store, some of the people that are coming in, they're new kids that are coming off of Disney's movie franchise. They're looking for something to read. So it's the next generation. I don't think they're exclusively buying it. I think the older people are also buying it. But what I'm seeing at the comic store is new kids looking for things to read, and they're reading the new stuff, and as they're reading the new stuff, they're churning through the crap, and as they get more addicted, they move backwards into quality work. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a sort of front to backwards movement of new kids coming in, absorbing the garbage, getting that out of their system, and then moving to credible storylines that have been written by good writers.
Are they any good writers?
Well, I mean, comics is a hit and miss industry. It's you have good stuff, you have crap stuff, and as time goes by, the good stuff will rise. They will reprint the good stuff because that's what they made the most money on. That's what people want the most.
They do sometimes reprint the crap too.
Yeah, they do. But
they reprinted Young Blood.
Yeah, it's about your intelligence. It's about what you really want. It's about the savoring the experience of the story. And
From what I heard from like what they did with Young Blood is that they recolor it. They made the story a little more sensible.
Isn't Young Blood's
Rob Liefeld?
Yeah, Liefeld. Yeah. Look, we all agree Liefeld is a curse that exists in comics like cancer exists in a human body. But that said, he invented Deadpool. People love Deadpool. He has that like new audience like zest where they want new and interesting stuff. And as those new audiences get more sophisticated, they start moving to the older stuff, which has stood the test of time. It will look pretty forever. The stories will always be relevant forever. And that's the comics industry. It's the new people fostering the old people, and so it goes over and over. And I think DC is benefiting from what Disney's doing in the movies. And I think the Marvel comics are getting better because
they've been better.
Yeah,
because
have you seen the new Elektra that was by Mike DeLeon or it's Mike?
I have not read that.
Well, I haven't read it either. But the art, they do screw it up in the printing. They've done a thing where the art is very precise, and then they've done a thing where they've just made it ridiculously looking when they printed it because they've added a filter to it.
I heard it's pretty good.
It is beautiful. They need to come out with an artist edition where they just keep the art the same way the artist made the art. But I'm impressed by the new stuff that Marvel is doing. and I think DC is benefiting from the Marvel movie industry.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's their problem is the fact like they're trying really hard to make a Justice League movie with the fact like maybe if they're gonna do the Marvel method, they should actually kind of look and kind of keep doing the kind of Marvel method.
The proper thing would be to respect the characters.
Yeah,
to have like because they have these like the Zack Snyder, the guy that does Lost, I forget his name, whatever. These very sort of like they're these pop culture directors to me. They're not Clint Eastwood,
Well, J.J. Abrams is going to do Star Wars.
Yeah, I will not watch that. I love Star Wars. Well, yeah.
What about the prequels?
I've seen the prequels. I like General Grievous. I like the designs. It's not.
But the movies as themselves.
It's not pulling me in. I'm not sitting every year and watching the movies over and over and going how great this is. I'm just sort of going, the masks for the new clone troopers look really nice.
So what you're saying is they're not good.
So I'm saying somebody's doing a good job.
And somebody's not.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff behind the Star Wars prequels I like.
You need quality directors. You need people who are artists. You need to respect the material you're pulling from.
You need to know how to write dialogue that isn't incredibly cheesy.
You need to know story
That's
arc.
important.
Yeah.
You need someone who ain't George Lucas, is what you're saying.
Gotcha. Zack Snyder or whatever the fuck. Or the guy who lost is.
Well, he's only three. So
like his great movies are like Cloverfield.
No, he produced it.
He produced it. He didn't do it. I don't know.
He did the Star Trek reboot.
I haven't watched that.
I liked it. I saw both the Star Trek.
Well, I mean, my Star Trek is Next Generation, so as long as he never touches that, he has not crossed my path.
Well, he's not going to be touching it for a big boy because he's been...
All the people are alive. They could do it, and they better fucking not.
So yeah, that's enough with the news. And now, originally, what I want to do for our topics was originally I want to do like both remakes and reboots, hence for the introduction. But I did kind of like the whole thing of what we kind of talked about like earlier. About like, media, if media kind of influence violence or vice versa, what happens.
I think people are violent.
Society should just take a pill.
That's the equilibrium solution. We just get rid of emotions and everybody be happy.
No, I don't mean take an actual literal pill. I mean just take a chill pill, calm the fuck down. Stop losing their fucking shit on and not taking media shit so seriously.
No, I think violence and its connection to the media is pointing to a symptom of society not being adequate for the psychological well-being of a human being. That's my thoughts on it.
My thing is, I love action films. I love Bruce Willis films. I like Die
Hard.
Yeah, I think
Die Hard. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's fun stuff. It doesn't need to be good. It just go out there, watch things blow up. It's the keys dangling in front of your eyes. That's all you need.
Oh, you need to watch Commando. Just watch and just watch people get blown the fuck up. It's awesome.
Watch True Lies. You don't really need too much brain cells for that.
Hey, True Lies. It's good.
It's fun. Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
It's not one of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that is Commando pretty much.
Yeah, it's not brutal and bloody, but you know what? I can't help but see all these gun nuts, and I keep seeing these connections between these people. And it's like, that's what they want to do. They want to be the action hero. Like, no, that's not how this shit works. This is fantasy. You need to make a difference. And we got motherfuckers out there walking around automatic weapons.
Yeah, I remember there was this one news story. I think it was one news story that we did. What about the Chipotle story where pretty much there's two people with fucking assault rifles goes into
no, it wasn't just two people. That was just two people that got the stop for a photo op, but it was actually an open carry protest. These were just two jackasses. They got their pictures taken, but there's no reason you need to have an automatic rifle when going to a goddamn fast food restaurant. There's no reason at all. They say, well, I want to be able to protect myself in case something happens.
From what?
Exactly. He's not there to rob you.
Well, I mean, Tim,
what are you gonna do, boy? What exactly is your plan here in this situation?
No,
let's just say this.
Their argument and the NRA's argument is they're defending themselves against a government uprising.
What government uprising?
No, they want to be able to practice a government uprising to keep the government from
taking
away their rights and over. That's not how this shit works.
So what they're saying is that the government is being Skynet is taking away their guns. That's what they're saying.
Well, I mean, they have more access to guns, but there is this fear that it's going to go away immediately, and so there's also a run on bullets. That the demand for bullets is higher than the production amount of bullets.
And that's a bad thing. Why?
Well, people are stockpiling bullets because they're scared.
Why?
Because they're scared the guns are going to go away, and they want to have a good enough stockpile to outlast the revolution.
What revolution?
The revolution that's in their heads that they think is coming tomorrow.
Pretty much. It's all a fantasy. They want to play Red Dawn the home game.
You know, just because I watch zombie movies and this is pretty cool. You know what? If I was in a zombie apocalypse, maybe a hand axe, maybe a handgun too.
Yeah, I'm a machete guy myself.
But
machete and sword.
But see, the thing about it is, it's fun to play in your fucking mind.
Real life is a little bit different. But these people, they want this shit so bad. I mean, we keep getting news stories of fucking lunatics going out and setting people up and shooting them when they really didn't have to. I mean, down here in Florida is one of the worst places because they have some pretty far-fetched understandings of the
Second Amendment.
Stand your ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Second Amendment guarantees you a right to bear arms in an organized militia.
I think they took away the militia thing, though.
Not really, no.
Well, they made an argument that said it was no longer necessary. So
it's pretty fucking necessary, thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, but they think... No, even still, you no longer necessary. The whole damn... we're going to talk about no longer necessary. The whole damn thing is no longer necessary. We don't live at colonial times. We're not going out there hunting and shooting our dinner. Particularly you.
Some people in rural areas, though.
Yeah, but that's an option. We have grocery stores now. We don't have to fend for ourselves.
We don't have to go out there and be fucking John Rambo with a fucking steak knife and hug down fucking wild boar pigs.
Well, I mean,
we can, just go out and buy bacon.
If we do that, it's our choice to do that, and it's just fine to have it as a choice. If that's what you want to do with your life, by all means. But don't pretend like that's how you have to put food on your table, because I've heard that argument before.
Well, I mean, the studies say that 80% of Americans, just because of the school shootings and the ridiculousness of it all, don't want the extreme amount of gun laws you want. The 20% want it, and the NRA backs politicians with a huge. I think when I started out in security, I was looking at the NRA. Its lifetime membership was $50. Now it's over 1,000, and all that money goes to back ads.
And politicians.
Yeah, ads against politicians or for politicians, and to give to politicians.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. Like neither one of us is anti-gun.
Yeah,
I like guns. They're cool. They're fun. They're neat. They're loud. They go bang.
shiny.
Well, exactly. They're the shiny keys, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, they look cool. I mean,
Yeah, but being irresponsible and being a dick that's saying I need an assault rifle, that I need to walk down the street, go to Walmart with this, is a little stupid.
People can't discern the difference, and that's the same thing. If you can't tell that Slender Man isn't real and isn't asking you for
Sacrifice.
then how can you not make the same distinction with
a fucking gun.
Yeah, the family from the Die Hard series isn't exactly sitting around waiting for somebody to just stand up against them so that they can keep going after them and try and kill them. That's not what happens. That's not how real life works.
And you know what? For those who have seen Die Hard and only emphasize this is cool action. May I remind you what happened in Die Hard? John McClane called police officer. He did not go and say, you know what? I got a fucking gun. Why not? The first thing he does is try to get an officer and try to get actual official help. That's what the first thing he did. He don't just go around and just fire at people. No.
Absolutely. No, these people just want to kill and be the hero.
I don't think they want to kill. I think there is a deep paranoia that they're going to lose something.
No, they want to kill. They want to use their guns against some human. That's what I truly believe it is. And they know that the self-defense principle gives them that excuse because they're looking for any fucking excuse imaginable. Oh, these kids have been breaking into my house. Bang, bang. Off some execution style. You're not in any actual danger. You just killed 2 teenagers in cold blood.
My thing is that's the disassociation with reality, that they live in a sense of fear that is not there, that is not based in reality, but is in their heads. And they want to kill out of fear for themselves.
No, I've actually met these people, and they think they can stand up by themselves. They think they can take charge and be the heroes. They want to be that superhero. They think that their guns give them that power. No, that's not how it works. That's why we evolved out of it, because that just leaves lots of dead people.
Well,
that's all it leaves.
That's that psychological thing of how you see yourself. Like everybody, even the villain, even the mobster sees himself as the hero.
They all see themselves as some kind of invincible force.
Yeah.
That that's really is in every single subtext of every single mobster film where they see themselves as an invincible force.
Yeah. Al Capone once said, and this is an actual quote: "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I'm kind to everybody I meet. But should someone be unkind to me, the last thing you're going to remember me for is my kindness."
Just because that I want to live a philosophy, I don't really want to. Just because I saw I heard a quote from Hard Boiled where it's one of my favorite quotes actually. It's
Hard Boiled the comic.
No, Hard Boiled. It's a Chinese movie. It's by John Woo, and it's a really awesome quote. Give a man a gun, he's Superman. Give a man 2 guns, he thinks he's God. And just because that sounds cool and all, doesn't really mean I want 2 fucking handguns and riding a fucking stairway and go ba 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 with 2 fucking handguns. No, I don't want to do that. It's fucking stupid. I'd probably get myself fucking killed or shot. Probably shot in the ass.
Well, the movie we just watched last night, we got a little girl that's fucking using masterful knife skills. I've been practicing with knives for years. I can't do half that shit. And She says, "Oh, I watch a lot of action films." That's not how that shit works.
It was like Commando and what was it?
Equilibrium, and what was the last one?
See, I want to say it was Die Hard, but it could have been Die Hard.
We just used a movie reference to establish something in reality. So
No, but people don't get this concept.
So fantasy
that
is fantasy.
movies are not reality.
Exactly, like it's all entertainment. You don't get this shit in real life. Why are that gets this shit?
No, Nick, you're not the only one.
I know.
But I get what you mean. Yeah, how come you're just the only person here who's like, I know the difference between reality and fantasy is. How come nobody else is getting? And you know what? It could be what you kind of said there that everybody wanted to be the John Wayne, the John McClane, the Arnold Schwarzenegger. They want to go out there, have a fucking M16 and just fucking blow any motherfuckers away.
Yeah, and they think, oh, I'm gonna go out there and start shooting me, and I'm gonna be a big hero.
Nah, I think there's a lot of.
No, that's the shit. That's the word they say, and that.
Well, the ones in Florida do.
Oh yeah, no. There's this guy in the freaking neighborhood I met. I met him just a few months after the Zimmerman trial, after he was found innocent.
Yeah.
And then I hear this motherfucker say, and he's like a white guy. He's like a Hispanic guy that looks like he's white.
Yeah.
And his name's Jesus.
Yeah.
And they Hasava. And then he said to me, he says, I tell you what, these little kids in this neighborhood, they think they can run from me? Well, let's see you run from a bullet. Could have knocked me over with a fucking feather. Like, this guy's fucking crazy. We got yet another one of these people out here. And it sets a bad precedent because these people are freaking loony. We can't go out shooting people like this. It's fun and awesome in films, but that's why we watch it. If you really want to be a hero, some sort of person of authority, join the police force. And if you can't join the police force, there's a good reason. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Don't become a vigilante, because that's fucking crazy.
I think you're simplifying the issue of mental disturbance in society by connecting it simply to people confusing real life with movies. I think there is a lot of mental insanity in society.
Yeah, well, we're here to talk about entertainment, so.
Yeah.
And it's become a topic for us because of the recent events. Because, like, literally, we want to keep having these interesting things. We want to have superheroes.
Yeah,
we want to have.
I don't blame the films for any of the crime that.
So, Mike does have a point. There are people who just deeply disturbed that that at some point they just go down, you just fucking gun down people. Like I think it was 2 years ago with the whole thing with the one kid,
the Asian kid.
No, it was during the Dark Knight Rises, and where that one fucking apparently the dude want to be the fucking Joker and just shoot up fucking
the kid that shot up the theater during the release of the film.
We didn't hear much about that kid.
Not lately, because he's going through trial, because he's a fucking...
No, even during the thing, it was just like a kid shot up a theater, he used some gas bombs or something. Well, not like gas...
He killed a lot of people.
I do remember
it. Like 3 or 4...
He became a meme because a photo of him in the court in the orange jumpsuit, he looks like a fucking idiot who just realized, oh, damn, I fucked up.
I think it's more just lines of like I'm trying to think of the fact that
you're assuming these people are sane while they're doing these insane things. I think.
Well, there's sane people, and then there's people of very poor judgment. Now, there's always going to be hardcore crazy people.
I think society in general is a little bit insane. Like, it indulges you to be insane, to want shit, to think you're the greatest thing, and to think a reality that is not true. And then it does, and movies become an extension of that because they're operating in a world of insanity. So they're projecting a world of insanity where people who are powerless become powerful, and then people go out and they do insane things, to replicate the movies, but the movie is a form, and what they're doing is also a form based on this insanity inherent in society.
And then you get people like Phoenix Jones.
Like who?
Phoenix Jones. Oh, you never heard about this?
Oh boy, my favorite man.
It's okay. It remembers the dude who dressed up as a superhero, doing these vigilante things, and he calls himself Phoenix Jones, and like in Seattle.
All right. What does he do?
And he has himself like an actual superhero little group.
Wait, he shoots places up?
No. He has like I guess a little weapon or whatever.
What kind of weapon?
Alright.
Like how dangerous is this weapon?
I wanted to say it was a nightstick.
Is it?
Well,
Is that it?
The man's overexcitable, but not necessarily crazy.
I mean, yeah.
I've actually heard interviews and stuff with him.
Plenty of people who think they're superheroes that are in groups. In fact, the guy.
The thing is, he really is a superhero. This guy wrote a book about him.
Yeah, he really is a superhero.
Yeah, he's got a police radio that he keeps his ears on to keep watch of his city, and he tries to go around and if he spots anything, because apparently the police force there is woefully unprepared.
Well, we've got a guy in like Orlando, Florida, who supposedly fights crackheads, but there's not enough crackheads to fight based on his stories. So he's just a weird old guy who dresses up. Apparently he has a website. I forgot what the fuck his name is.
But see, you know what? It's just shit like that from like fucking Phoenix Jones. I'm like, you know what?
No, but here's the thing with Phoenix Jones. Phoenix Jones goes out there, and 9 times out of 10, he talks it out with the criminals. He literally.
That's like that rape guy. There's a guy in what is that city? What's Motor City? Which one is that?
Oh, Detroit?
Yeah, it's in Detroit, and he sort of films prostitutes that are on the street, and that's all he does. He films them, and then when they get kidnapped, he sort of like attacks their car, or like he films people who are sleeping with them and like shames them, and it's kind of a dick thing to do, but he actually is helping, because in a lot of ways he is the only record of some of these people who have gotten dragged into bad situations. And yeah, I'm not against this dude, because he does very minimal stuff. He calls the police when he can. He's kind of a superhero. He just doesn't have any suit or clothing. He's with a camera. And
so he's literally
and like shames people. He's just like, why are you fucking by a park? Just explain that to me, sir. Why? And people actually talk to him.
Oh, he doesn't actually sleep with anyone. He's just,
no. He filmed. He just filmed.
He just pulls like a Chris Hansen on him.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Want to sit on this chair?
Excuse me, sir. Please take a seat on this.
Yeah. Why are you having sex in this abandoned truck?
Why are you having sex in this abandoned truck?
Having sex in this abandoned truck with this hooker. And that's his thing. Which,
I have cancer.
Really?
Change my mind now.
But see, as much as the things are funny, as much as I guess Phoenix Jones is doing some good there. See, it just sounds really fucking dumb to say like, oh,
I don't know Phoenix Jones. That's why he's kind of weird to me. Like, there's a guy. There's Christopher Dennis, who's been Superman for 30 years. He dresses as Superman. He hangs out on Hollywood Boulevard. He collects tips.
But see, that's different compared to like actually somebody who...
Yeah, that's show business. Someone actually wearing a costume and going out with a nightstick, and then talking it out with people. First off, how do you find crime? I've gone out.
I don't know how he does it, but literally, like he goes out and he'll find these people. He'll like go up to like just the most vicious looking crack dealing gangsters that he can, and like he talks it out with them.
Yeah.
See, as much
like, guys, this isn't good for you. You're hurting your neighborhood. You're hurting your people. This isn't making you stronger. Like, And he's successful.
You see, as much you can be successful with that, how long is it gonna run on until you find somebody who's
That's like a community organizer, though. You know, that's what the fuck they did in the 60s. They went and they talked people down who were going to do crazy shit because they were living in fucked up times.
You see, as much you can say is, oh, that sounds kind of cool. What if someone's out there who's equally fucked up, who maybe a Joker quote unquote person comes and shoots this fucking Jing Jones guy.
Hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't happened yet, but you know what?
Then he would die the Harvey Milk way, where he went out, he tried to do something good, a crazy dude came and shot him. You know, he's still in that community organizer.
The point I'm trying to make was this: is, sometimes, I read comic book superheroes. You know what? They're cool and all, and you know what? Sometimes maybe kind of cool, but then you have something like Watchmen. It kind of shows like, no, this is a reality where bad shit is going to happen. None of this is fucking good.
Yeah, but what's his name? Like the guy that's like the most hated, the psychologist who tried to destroy comics.
Edward Wortham, I think?
Yeah, Wortham. Yeah, Wortham's, like, everybody throws out Wortham, but they never actually read Wortham. Wortham actually said people would start doing this. Comics would eventually become big enough that people would start dressing like superheroes, and then people would take that a step further and start dressing like supervillains. And you would have a sort of world like that. It's not to say Wortham is really a good guy or has much to back this up, but he said that. And, we don't like him because, again, he tried to destroy comics. He showed up later. But
I guess your point being that is, I guess Wortham thing is coming true. And you know what? Fuck Wortham.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. You know what? He is. And this
I can appreciate that. Yeah.
This entire and that is the fact, like this is something going to happen. Okay, first off, these people, maybe they have a functioning sense, and maybe some of them don't. I'm just saying this. We need to stop this. You gotta live in the reality world. Like there's no
stop living in the fictional world.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Well, to a certain extent, democracy is fictional. It's just stuff written on paper, and we live this fiction every day. Again, money is fiction. Again, written on paper, and we live the fiction. So you really have to say the bad thing is killing people is not the good thing.
Democracy isn't necessarily fiction. It's a process by which we decide that it's an effective way to govern ourselves.
I know, but what are the things reinforcing
work with each other
this?
in a society?
What are the things reinforcing this? Like we have the Declaration of Independence, that's paper and ink. Bill of Rights, paper and ink. It's a thought thing. We have big buildings, but those buildings are based on our imaginations of what we want democracy to be. So, we all live a fiction to a certain extent, but it's about living a good fiction versus living a destructive fiction.
An argument you can always make with just about anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I always want to get to the core of reality. What are we doing? Where are we living?
Yeah, Grant Morrison just off a bunch of paint thins, and I created a universe.
It was Alan Moore that wrote that, but whatever.
It's both of them. They both did it to create something, and to call this is the universe.
I don't know what Grant Morrison thinks about the universe, but I think it's pretty sexual and it's pretty fucked up.
And pretty out there.
Yeah, just going by Grant Morrison and the amount of drugs that he normally does.
So yeah, going back to the topic at 10. Media, violence, blah.
Well, I mean,
at what point?
Well, isn't our argument ultimately about censorship? Should we censor media if it's destructive?
I think it's more, do we have to censor media? Is humanity so irresponsible in general that we have to censor ourselves because there's...
I think we only censor up to a certain point.
No, I don't believe in censorship. I think the cure for stupidity is knowledge. And when you believe something stupid about media, knowledge about that media is the cure for it.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that wholeheartedly, but does that mean that you have to accept everything stupid?
Well, I mean, in general, we have to do something stupid in order to do something new sometimes. You have to get it wrong a shitload to get to something new. So it is accepting
But
stupidity.
do we have to really waste time on things that most of us can agree are bad ideas?
What would
like
be an example of a bad idea?
There are hardcore, all sorts of really bad ideas, like going into a crowded movie theater on the release night of a very popular and anticipated movie, and then throwing a bunch of smoke grenades and opening fire. That I think we can all agree. And there's one stepping block. That is a bad idea.
Well, the perspective of the audience was that this was a stunt by the theater. The theater was throwing smoke bombs, to heighten the experience of the screen, what's being shown on the screen. So they didn't run out initially, and then a kid opened fire on them. They weren't too keen on the kid opening fire on them, throwing smoke bombs. They were still into that.
Yeah, that was something that probably...
So the bad part was the shooting and killing people, which we all agree is probably not the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, if you've paid extra money for like one of those 4D experiences, I can see where you would get confused.
You know, just because I spend $30 on a ticket, it does not mean I'm expecting a blowjob all of a sudden.
No, but matinees back in the day, the whole point that they attracted you to certain theaters was because the theater was going to give you a unique experience. Like what was the tingle? You know, the tingle.
Yeah, the tingler, like where.
Yeah, and certain theaters would have that thing that would buzz you.
It was a massage, like they put the massagers like in the chairs, and now be like a tingler coming up, and you have to scream.
Yeah, so audiences are used to different experiences and experience changing. So somebody coming out and throwing some smoke bombs in a movie where bombs are exploding and there's smoke wouldn't be that unrealistic to me.
Yeah. Would it be a good idea?
I think so if you use it for entertaining reasons and a kid doesn't come out and shoot you with a real gun. If Bane busted out...
You're careful with the kind of smoke bombs, too, that you
use. If a guy dressed as Bane came out and had a fake gun, it was like, ladies and gentlemen, I've just taken over this theater and just walked up the aisles and then walked out.
That would probably not be a good idea.
Well, I would sit there and I would enjoy my movie and think, well, that was a nice actor that just came in and made me feel like I'm being taken hostage. This makes this movie feel so much more interesting. I wouldn't feel I was in danger. I would just feel that, hey, the theater is doing something interesting and cool, and I'm not against it.
That does sound kind of cool, though.
And it would also create a great mask for someone to park it. I actually agree. That does sound pretty cool, but you have to be paying a lot of cash to make that worthwhile.
I don't think so. I think a good independent theater that gave a fuck about films would return to the matinee style of showing films, of heightening the experience. Because when you go to a play, that's what they do. The Spider-Man play was going to be really good.
Really?
Yeah, of course it was.
No, but they had to pare it down because of the technical difficulties. They were going to put a web over the audience, and then Spider-Man was going to crawl over them.
As much as sounds like a kind of cool idea.
Yeah, no, they couldn't do it because most theaters weren't rigged up for you to put a web over the audience. So, yeah, you had to pull that freaking idea. The insurance was ridiculous. They couldn't do it, so they couldn't carry the show. And then they had to take out a shit more stuff, and then it just became stupid.
Well, let's be honest.
Well, a Spider-Man play in general is
was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Could it have worked out?
Maybe it was, maybe just in one theater, and that was it.
Maybe small.
Yeah, concept. I mean, if we could get a copy of the original script of what they wanted to do, and you had a good enough theater, and you could do it for one night only, it would be interesting to see what they did.
Yeah, but trying to make a regular moneymaker out of it, that would have was just
during for silly things like Lion King, which was not as technically complicated.
No, that was just a big show with all the songs in it.
Yeah.
But see, that's the kind of difference between that and Spider-Man. In fact, like you have like these sort of kind of puppets. You have like the actors, dressing up, I guess, a bit of
as animals, and then they have camouflage.
Then you have Spider-Man, where he's gonna swing from a web that that's kind of part of the whole show. They're gonna swing from the stage to God knows fucking where that particular actor is something fucked up. That actor could seriously be hurt and just be flown to the fucking balcony.
Oh, just forget about the actor. He's gonna have to sign all kinds of consent forms, and he's gonna have workers' comp. What about the unlucky person that goes to see Spider-Man at a play and has Spider-Man land ass first on their face?
Ooh.
See, that's the risk in entertainment. I think there should be a minimal risk. If you're gonna really go to a play and be like, well, the actor fell out of the sky and landed on my face. Yeah, that sucks. But you have to
cheeks down, like, you know what? I figured these idiots had figured this shit out.
Yeah, you can be pissed off about it, but if you're really just be like, I'm gonna sue the show because Butt Cheek touched my face, that's a little much for me.
I don't know, because when these people say, come see our play, we have a man flying around out there. Like, wow, I wonder how they managed to solve all the problems.
To be honest, out of the three of us, have any of us really ever gone to a play?
Yeah, I've been to a couple.
No, I've gone to like Renaissance plays, which is just on an open stage. It isn't like a theatrical thing. So you do trust them to a certain extent.
Well, yeah, but like
that's their part of the agreement. You come and you pay.
Yeah,
and you don't throw shit at the actors.
What was that? What was the Jim Davis guy who came to Florida and then he peed into the audience and then he had to be arrested?
You mean Jim Morrison?
Yeah, Jim Morrison.
But see, that's kind of different. Jim Morrison was on drugs during that time.
Yeah. And Manson's always getting arrested for rubbing his ass on people randomly, which I wouldn't be that offended by. I'm going to a Manson show. I know shit's gonna happen.
That's kind of a point over there. I mean, going to a door show and having
him peeing on you. That's a little more unexpected.
Yeah, getting peed on at the doors is one thing. If you're like going to a gore concert and like
and you get covered in slime, yeah.
Yeah,
you expected that.
But if you're like going to Creed back when they were still like together in a Christian band, and then one of them just decides to take a crap on stage.
Well, technically you're not coming in contact with that crap. You're just like, that's just bad artistic taste right there.
Sure, well, that's not. There are certain things you expect. You have your artistic commitments, and you don't take that sharp a change.
I just realized something. We went from talking about violence, media, like talk about fantasy. Trying to tell the difference between fantasy and reality. When the flying fuck did we got into? So what is taking a shit on the stage has to do with it?
Taking a shit on stage is violating the fiction, or not the fiction, the expectation an audience has when they go and they see an amalgamation of a band which is performing something that generates a fictional sense of reality, and if taking a shit in the middle of that violates the agreement we've all come to agree to.
So that's your smart way of saying, like, I'm just pointing shit out of my ass. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No. There's a valid trail of how we got here. That's not ultimately that important, but that's why we're talking about this. So there was a path that led us to this. And it's still in the realm of is reality fiction, and is doing something totally unexpected, is just taking a random shit, violating all of our expectations.
Well, if you're Marilyn Manson, I guess that won't be, or like
if I heard like Manson will do that.
Right enough, I heard that somebody had been taking, the whole thing had been taking a shit.
Can we get back out of this topic just real quick?
Yeah.
Because Christian actually had another topic he wanted to go into.
Yeah.
Well, see, as much as I want to go into, we kind of passed that, and as much I really want to go into, it's like, well, past that point.
I mean, let's set aside the whole good taste argument, though, at least. Because that is, and that's the problem, highly subjective. But can we at least just have things that are subjective? Do we have to make it so that there's nothing else that we can do because we get a freaking bunch of lunatics that have to ruin it for everybody?
Well, I
mean, what's our solution here? Do we...
I think shame is the solution. You gotta shame people into thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you walking around with a weapon? Are you that eager to shoot somebody? Are you that scared that somebody's gonna hurt you so badly that you can't live a normal life?
What I think is this. Shit is gonna happen no matter what. That's just the reality, and that's the fact it's gonna happen.
That's a fact of life, pretty much, yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes shit is gonna become really fucking dumb up to a point. Because I think it was around the 1970s they say, like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons, that's satanic and whatnot. Really, it's about, really, it's
pretend with rules.
It's as dangerous as someone is getting a paper cut. People are going, oh, heavy metal, you're going to be saying this. No, you guys should listen to some really good music by some really good and creative artists. Video games, the violent thing, no. It's not really, video games do not really produce any kind of violence whatsoever. I mean, yeah, there have been some stupid things, but that has nothing to do with whatever.
Mortal Kombat's not going to let you kill your mother.
Mortal Kombat, think about this. Can you really pull out an entire fucking spinal as somebody's goddamn back?
Not spinal.
Well, spinal column is a thing.
Yes.
But the point being this, can you actually do that in real fucking life? No. Could you... So, there are going to be those people that... They're going to ruin some things here and there. There are going to be those people that don't know, what... between the line of fantasy and reality. It's going to be those people. No doubt about it. It's going to be those crazy fucks that are going to come out of fucking woodwork. You're gonna have, that same kind of incident that happened during the Dark Knight Rises. You're gonna have the same kind of incident with the Slender Man. You're gonna have those. There's no question about that. Shit been happening that for God knows how long. It just, sometimes we don't really hear it as much.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest concern about the whole thing is, what if these aren't just massively psychologically messed up people? What if they're just fucking idiots that think this is just a good idea? How do we work around that issue? I think Mike's right. Like the final answer in this is just like, let's just shame them like hardcore. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But even then, is that gonna create a solution or a problem?
No, I mean, it worked for the motor companies. Jaywalking used to be a real problem. Well,
I think people still jaywalk.
Well, people jaywalk, but
it's like people are shaming people just for stealing. People are still doing it. It's just in one form to another.
Yeah.
Like I said, this shit just happens. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this shit just happens. And, sometimes it's in kind of control and sometimes it's not.
My thing is, if you live in a reality that is not sound or is not good, and you're fucking life up for everybody else, I think shame kind of works in a way in seeing, what the fuck are you doing? What do you think is insane?
Just embarrass them into behaving. You can control people like that.
Yeah.
We have all these kids that are going out and doing these shootings right now, and I believe
that there is a need for mental health there. there isn't really much of availability on mental. There is a thing like go see a therapist, but fuck you, really, honestly. Whoever says that, because you're part of the problem. I think the options if you're a crazy person, you're losing your shit, is go do drugs, go do alcohol. If you have money and you have insurance and you don't feel too disturbed by it, go talk to a therapist who generally is a stranger who you're not going to trust with all the things that are most embarrassing about you. And I think as a society we gotta work on that part of it, of where to go to when you need help.
That's a pretty good damn point there.
Absolutely.
Florida is the definition of bad shit just keep on happening.
Florida
is the definition of stupidity.
If Batman came here, he would lose his fucking mind.
Batman would be like, you know what? I can't take this shit anymore. I'm going back to Gotham where the loonies are normal.
Yeah. I mean, at least when they cause trouble, it is at least in a localized area, and everybody isn't out helping them by looting shit.
Yeah, I mean, we got a special class of people down here in Florida, and I just can't help but think, like,
where do we went wrong?
Yeah,
there's a complicated, very confusing answer there.
Should we just bomb ourselves? Should we turn to no man's land?
No, I mean, I think we have a lot of potential. We just gotta fix every little problem we come across.
In Florida, that's too much.
Which are never ending, but you gotta keep trying, and you've gotta keep trying to get above the tide of really insane, stupid shit that makes life unbearable. And get to that point where you're just fixing stuff and you're high enough to where people just aren't the worst humanity has to offer.
I guess. Indeed. Well, I think we went up to a high conclusion. I just want to say, thank you for joining us for this lovely podcast. At least this time, we're gonna have a raging Mexican just be like, "This is over," and just fucking turn off the goddamn thing. No, well, they're gonna have that unexpected thing. We're just gonna say thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy this lovely, lovely episode. I want to thank Nick, who's right now on his goddamn phone playing God knows what. Maybe looking at porn. I'm not quite sure.
It's the Simpsons game, which I approve of.
And I want to thank our special guest Mike, which we're probably gonna see more of, because I gotta say, this was a really awesome episode, and you've been a really awesome help being here.
Yeah,
where they can meet you, where they can find you, Mike.
Gonna keep me? Is that it?
Where they gonna find you? Do you have some kind of Twitter? Are you having Twitter follow?
I'm Chaos Angel 424. It's on Twitter. Yeah, it's basically Chaos Comics, which used to be a comic company. Angel, my favorite character from X-Men, and 424, which is the most equal number as far as I know. And yeah, that's me on Twitter, Chaos Angel 424. It hooks directly to my DeviantArt. You can look at my art, and yeah, you can just search me online through that.
Alright, Nick, can I find you? Do you want to be found?
I have a Twitter, but I'll be honest with you, you're not likely to find anything from me on there. I have that just to look at other things, and I don't even go on it. The best thing I can do is, if you like my political stances, you can find me. I have my own political group. It's for a political protest I've been going on for a few years now against the two-party system in the United States. I support third-party and independent candidates for just about any kind of public office you can hold. Or the Facebook group is Vagnoni Gambles 2012. It's named for me and a friend of mine named John Gambles. You can log onto there, and I post shit on there all the time.
Does John Gamble like to gamble a lot, or that's his ironic name?
No, it's just his name. His name's John Gambles.
Well,
Junior.
You know me as Chris Alonso. You can always find me here at the Comic Book Crazy that you want. You can always find my Slender vlog reviews, my movie reviews, my podcast of Dr. Netflix with my lovely girlfriend, Lisa. And you can always find us here at C.S.N Report. You can always find me at Twitter at GLChris24 at Twitter. Bullshit. You can always find me at Facebook. Just type in my fucking name. And you know what? We want to thank you all for listening. Have a nice night or a nice day whenever you're listening to this. And I hope this has been informational. And next time...
Informational?
I guess so. Has it been?
That's technically a word.
It's been a lovely ride. And we shall return, and God knows when. Will Mike return? Maybe. Will we have another guest? Who knows? Will Saul come back from his Shaolin monastery after training to fight?
Jesus rise up from the ground and zombies take the earth. We don't know.
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But till then,
I'm betting against it myself.
till then, I don't know. Peace.
Good night.